All right, let me get this. Sorry, guys. Sorry about the problems, issues. One of the reasons I'm trying to get my ass out of Afghanistan as quick as I can. I'm in the process of working on that. You guys know if you're on part of the channel, I've had a couple of interviews, and hopefully I'll be taking one shortly. I'll hear something back on the first one next week, and then I got like 5 more interviews lined up. So we are back. Sorry about that, guys. Uh, what I did is I had two computers open. That might not have been a good idea, so I did close one of them, and hopefully we'll be rolling now with no issues. Let me see. We'll go a little bit that way. There we go. Um, Trying to keep the NASCAR off there. I hope that's not an issue. Sorry about that. Dropped. The call came in. Joseph, Ray, I appreciate you calling in, brother. Thank you very much. We'll try it again. I do have my other Skype open here on this computer. So now I've got one computer open with my Skype. And if you call in, I can switch back to the YouTube. So it should work okay. What's up, Marcus Calloway? How you doing, man? So we lost our 17 people we had. We were doing good. As we were talking, the draft is coming. I go home in 12 days. The draft is, what, 15 days away. I have my anniversary on the 23rd. So I get home on the 22nd, and everything should be set up and rolling good right into the draft. After the draft, I have a meeting. I have almost a month off. Then I have a meeting up in Washington, D.C. Me and Mark Holmes are supposed to do some stuff together when I'm there. Hopefully, he'll have time. If not, we'll have some dinner or something like that. But definitely want to meet up with him again. We did that at the draft last year. So the draft is like my 1 year anniversary for doing my YouTube show. My YouTube channel actually started on 10th of July. So 10 July will be my anniversary, man. What's up, Cowboys Nation? GQ Taylor Blaze in the house. Trailblazer, I'm sorry. GQ Trailblaze in the house. How you doing? Uh, if you guys just jumped in, Golden City Heart, hey, your card is right here, brother. I keep that on my desk, man. That really is cool. I appreciate it. What a punk. Tank better play every. Hey, man, I know some people aren't happy. I'm good with the deal, especially the way they did it. The way they did his contract, they rolled that money back, and we've got that extra almost 10 million, and 9.8 million is what we ended up getting back with him signing this year. We have money to sign one more like 1 year deal guy, or we could roll into Cooper's contract, get that done early, give him an extension, or we could do a multitude of things. But we got money sitting on the books, guys, and that's really cool. What's up, Joe Gamis? How you doing, brother? So let's see where we at. Ray, if you want to try to call in again, I'll post the number. This should work better on this computer. I think the problem was I had my phone and two computers going, all connected to Wi-Fi. That's the Dak Prescott sleeveless jersey. The reason I went sleeveless with this one is because my buddy bought it too big, and it looked goofy. What I do, you guys know I order a lot of jerseys. I get them from my buddy in the Philippines, but I get my jersey from the Philippines. And what I do is I get the fitted jerseys similar to the jerseys they wear when they go to like the Salvation Army functions and those things. So you'll notice my jerseys fit kind of tight, and that's the reason I get those fitted jerseys. To me, they look a lot better, like with a pair of jeans. It's not real baggy and hanging off of you. And those jerseys are really cool. I like the style of those jerseys a little better. But here's the number. If anybody wants to call in, we can try to do that again. I apologize for losing the connection earlier. We are talking draft talk, guys. Anybody that has an idea, has some things they want to bounce off the chat box. None of us are professionals. None of us work for the Cowboys, unless Jerry Jones is out there listening right now. Um, Juju just called out AB for, yeah. Yeah, I saw that, Stevie Mac. They were going back and forth. I think AB started it. It looked like AB started it. He made a statement similar to that's who they want to go with their number one. Uh, USMC Lambo, what's up, my friend? How you doing, man? Um, I don't know if you're still interested in coming to Afghanistan for work, but there's work over here, but things could be changing. Things could be rolling out. Stevie Mack saying hello to Lambo too. Um, but with the Aaron, not Aaron, the AB thing, And Juju Smith-Switzer, I'm not sure why those guys have beef. Juju came along. I think he was pushing Brown to be a better receiver. That guy played well when his last year. And AB, hey, you got to step up, and play now. You got that big deal you wanted. Yeah, I feel the same way. AB's a drama queen. I'm glad we didn't go there. I saw a couple people in the chat box before when we had live streams before mention it, and yeah, I'm back on, brother. What's up, Mark? I saw a couple people mention, what about AB? Imagine AB on one side and Cooper on the other, but to me, that's not a deal. I would even try to work on. We've got a good locker room right now. I don't think there's anyone on the team right now that would cause an issue in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? So we got a clean locker room, a clean slate. Everybody seems happy. Everybody's good with Sean Lee being a leader, and Sean Lee's obviously good with himself being a leader, or else he wouldn't have taken that pay cut, man. That was really a good thing for him to do, and that came like this. You guys remember? There was no discussions, there was no talks, there was no like 4 or 5 days going back and forth. It was like they asked Sean Lee to take a pay cut, and he did it, and that really helped us out with the cap room. Thoughts of putting Byron Jones and Taco on the trading block? I like both players, but I don't think they'll be able to pay them. Might as well, man. You man, you're touching on some sensitive stuff, but a lot of Cowboys are in love with those guys. Now, Taco Charlton is a different situation. Byron Jones, he's played solid. He improved. His kind of pretty much his first year at corner. I think he'll even be better this year. So I would like to maybe carry him on a franchise tag next year. Let him play this year out, franchise tag him maybe, and then look at a trade. And then with Taco, my thing with Taco, yeah, it's the War Daddy show, baby. What's up, Jesse Cantu? My thing with sure my show is still going. I might have just found out what the problem is with the show shutting off. I've got my Skype open on my phone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
What's up, brother? Welcome to the Cowboy Crunk Show. Let me see if the show starts back up. If not, what I got to do is I got to open my Skype on my phone and shut that off. That might be the problem. I've never. Let me see if it shut off. But anyways, go ahead. Who we got on the Cowboy Crunk Show today?
Hi, my name's Dak Prescott, and I just wanted to say that the Cowboys suck. Cowboys suck.
Thank you very much for your opinion, brother. We're gonna make you eat those words this year. You know that though, right?
Jerry Jones eats ass.
Oh, he
Cowboys
does.
suck.
Oh, come on now. We can't have that much hate. What you doing
Dak
on?
Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott are having a love affair. Cowboys suck.
That's horrible, man. What you got to bring that to the channel for?
Just to let you know that the Cowboys suck.
Oh, come on now. All right, brother. Hey,
Have a great day, brother.
and you're repping what team? Well, I don't know what happened there, but yeah, that wasn't nice. Hang up on the dude. Hey, are we good to go again with the? It did it again, did it or did it not? Are we rolling, guys? The camera's still there. Hey, let me know if the Skype shut off. Hang up on that fool. Hey, well, somebody else got to call in then. If he's not gonna, I think what I need to do is no video. Yeah, yo, I think I'm rolling. I think we're going. Sorry, guys. 1 second. The camera's off. I know. We should be good now. Come on, fellas. Hang in there with me. I'm learning this stuff, man. I'm new to this. Yep, it's gone. God damn. Son of a bitch. Did we lose the channel, guys? Not yet. You can hear me, but there's no video, correct? All right. Let me see what we got on the video here. Refresh. Is there a way to refresh the phone? No. Cancel. No. Okay. Man, this is pissing me off. We so we still got audio. Is that correct, guys? But no video. You guys can hear the show. Just we can't see anything. Correct? Well, we can still continue to. At least we can still have phone calls. You can still call in. Okay, that's cool. We'll just go with a blank screen. I can throw the blank screen up there. We're still doing the chat. We have audio. That's all we need. You guys don't need to see my ugly mug, anyways. So if anybody really wants to call in with some good information, we had a troll call in. So I've had 2 phone calls. I had if Ray, if you're still out there, you want to call back, I've got it organized now. We can do the phone calls, but we just can't do the video until the next call. Next call, I'll make sure I turn my Skype off on my phone, and we won't have an issue there. But guys, we got the season rolling in. We got the draft coming. We're going to fill the few spots that we really need to fill. We all know that as the season comes to close, there's going to be some guys that we have to let go. There's going to be some guys we have to trade. Because of the looks, hey, the camera's trying to roll again. Are we good? No, but we could have some players we have to trade. There could be some guys that it just benefits us to trade. So Stevie Mack, you brought up a good point, but the situation with Taco, I think this is his year to come in and play well. It takes defensive linemen, from my opinion, a year or two. It takes a year or two to get that man strength to play in the middle. Unless you're a first round top 15 draft pick on the offensive line or defensive line, I just don't see these guys, making a big impact the first year or two. I think Taco Charlton's coming, and he just didn't have a chance to get on the field all that much, with DeMarcus Lawrence taking most of the snaps. It's kind of like having a pretty good backup tight end, but they weren't getting on the field. Yeah, he did. He screwed it all up. I could restart it. It won't take as long to restart it if you guys want the video on. But I'm more concerned about getting a few phone calls in. I do have this narrowed down now. I have my Skype off on the phone, so I know to do that next time. I'll turn the Skype off before we start the video calls. I just got to sign out of Skype. That was the only issue. So I guess that was shutting the camera down, because of course Skype tries to open the camera up. So let's see. I did do. Another reason I might have answered with the video call versus answering with just a audio call on the Skype application. So yeah, Stevie Mack, good opportunity maybe to trade Taco, but I think if we trade him next year, I think we'll get more value for him if we can get him on the field and show that he's, I think he's a little better than he's shown. And I think he'll come into that this year. I think he'll get a little stronger. He'll get, he gets on that NFL program in the weight room. He's on an NFL diet, and I just think that takes a couple years. He had that at Michigan, I'm sure. I'm sure he had a good weight room and a good diet program. But I think Taco will come around, just like Connor Williams hasn't really shown out yet. All of our other first round draft picks, Travis Frederick. The other guys on the line, Travis Frederick and Tyron Smith, Martin. Here we go. Let me see if this works, guys. I think I answered it correctly. What's up, boss? How you doing? Cowboy Crunk. Welcome to the Crunk Show. Who we got here from the 512? The 512 area code.
I've been fucking watching Patriots. Only Romo.
Hell yeah, brother. You from San Antonio?
No, hell no, brother. From Texas, born and raised. Used to live in Dallas over there. I've been in Houston. I went to San Antonio one time. I knew a guy once.
Oh, okay, cool. I saw the 512 is Dallas. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's Austin, Texas, but I've been watching Cowboys ever since I was Starback.
Oh yeah, bro. Me too. I used to get out of church. You know what? I liked going to church on Sundays because when I got at church, bro, you knew I was going straight to the TV, brother.
Yeah, straight to the Cowboy game. And
Yeah,
then,
man.
sure. One more year.
Yeah, but where you think we're
Yeah.
what kind of record do you think we're going to end up with this year? You think we'll be above 10 wins, 10, 11, 12 wins?
For sure, 11-5, for sure.
Yeah, that's where I'm looking. I think that's our minimum, I know we kind of got a tough schedule, but I think this is me. I hate to try to judge our schedule because truthfully, when you sit down in front of the TV every weekend, what do you say? You say the Cowboys will go win, right? So to me, they go six.
Oh yeah,
You know?
I just get mad because when the referees don't let the boys play, I get upset.
Oh, bro, that's the one thing I hate about football. The one thing I hate about football is when you play on Sunday, there's not a game again till Sunday. So you're pissed off all week, if you lose.
Oh yeah, next to the Thursday game, I'll be upset until next Sunday.
Yeah, I can't watch baseball because if you lose, I have a lot of friends being from Houston, they're Astros fans. And if they lose, it's not a big deal because they got a game the next day or sometimes 2 hours later. They got the double headers.
Well, football, baseball, that's for the Weezers. Football been around since 1977.
Yeah, man, you know it. So what do you got us doing in the draft at 58?
Well, we need some defense. We need some defense.
Yeah, I agree. I think our offense is solid. I would like to have another receiver. I hear people talking about not at 58. I don't want to go receiver at 58. I think that's solid, a safety. We brought in enough safeties. We had a lot of safeties on the 30 visits. We had a lot of safeties on the Dallas day. So it looks like to me it's pretty much a lock. On safety at 58.
Well, we do need defense, but we still need a receiver.
Yeah, and I'm kind of hot on a receiver out of Baylor, and the Cowboys really haven't. They didn't bring him in. They didn't look at him, but the NFL teams do this sometimes, and the reason they do it when they're interested in a player, if you bring him in 2 or 3 times, it shows you're interested. So other teams start jumping on that bandwagon, and we've seen the Eagles in particular pick players that they knew we were interested in.
They stole DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah, they've stolen quite a few players from us in the draft. So I'm hoping they're looking at him. This guy I like, he was a wide receiver, or he is a wide receiver now. He used to be a running back at Tennessee, and he could play both. He could play running back. He could play wide receiver. And I think it's a position he could play, 2 spots for us. He'd get a lot of snaps that way.
That's good. We can use him right there in the rest.
So what you got planned today? What's on the schedule for your Sunday since we don't have football today?
Well, I might just barbecue and just probably wash some clothes.
Hey, there you go, man. A regular Sunday. All right, hey, you got a YouTube channel or you got a Twitter you want to shout out for your social media?
Hey, yeah, you can find me on 512 Productions on YouTube.
512 Productions on YouTube. What's the channel? What's the base on the channel?
It's just like music-wise, freestyle music-wise.
Okay, cool. All right, so 512. What was it again? 512 Producer.
Productions.
512 Productions, man. I appreciate you calling in, brother. You got anything else?
Well, I just hope we make the playoffs, man. Let's all bow our heads and pray about it.
Hey, we got to keep that door open. If we get the playoff door open, man, I think we got. We did really well in the playoffs. We had the Rams tore us up on the run game. They did, but we really did well in the run all season. We were 5th in the league, against the run. We were also last in defensive penalties. We were last. That means out of 32 teams, we had the least amount of defensive penalties. So I think we need to be a little more aggressive on defense with our corners and our safeties, and that's why I want to go safety at 58. Get an aggressive safety out there. If we get a few more penalties, we get a few more penalties, but we got to get aggressive and get some interceptions, some turnovers, some fumbles, and some big hits.
Yeah, we need a defense because every time we get to the playoffs, it's our defense that messes everything up.
Yeah, we play all good all year, and then it seems like just I don't know. The Rams had our number that day. We were in the game. We still had a good chance to win. So, but we did get outplayed. I think we got outcoached a little bit too. That's another issue I have. I think our team is so damn good. You know, if we lose a game, it could be due to coaching or time clock management or play calling.
Yeah, it's been there for 20 years and only went to the playoffs 2 times.
Yeah. So, well, hey man, take care. 512 Production. Hit his Twitter up or his Instagram. I appreciate you calling in, brother.
Yes, sir.
Take care, man. Thanks for joining.
Yes, sir. Bye.
Hey, that's cool. Straight in from Dallas, all the way calling to Afghanistan. 512 Productions. Appreciate the call, brother. Thank you for listening to the channel. Thank you for joining. Thanks for your intellectual talk there. He's wanting a receiver as well. We're deep at receiver, guys, but my position on receiver is we have Amari Cooper and then we have some other guys, you know, and I know Gallup is young. We know we got the situation with Allen Hurns and his leg. I'm hoping he can recover. I'm hoping he can be a big part of the team. But you also know, guys, wide receiver, it's tough on those legs and those knees when you're talking about cutting back yards after the catch and those things. It would be nice to get us a really solid wide receiver, maybe at 90. You know, with our second pick in the third round. Got another caller, unknown person. Let me see what we got here. Are we there? Hello? Hello, we there? Caller.
Is that Crunk?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing? Welcome to the Crunk Show. What you got for the Crunk Show? Who are we talking to and where you from, sir?
It's Mark Sampson from England.
Oh, my brother, you calling from England, my man.
Yeah.
Aha, thank you very much for calling, man. What you got for us today?
No problem. Just thinking about the draft. Definitely we're in agreement on safety.
Safety is what you want?
58.
Yeah, bro. I think a lot of us are locked on safety. If you looked at the 30 visits, if you look at the Dallas Day, who we brought in, there was a lot of second-round safeties that they brought in, and then there were some third-round safeties. There was a lot. There was a few defensive linemen that should fall in the second round that they brought in, and then there was quite a few defensive tackles, defensive edge rushers that should be third round guys. So it looks like to me it's probably safety at 58 and probably at 90 defensive edge, or they brought a lot of wide receivers in too.
I'm thinking more tackle, defensive tackle.
Yeah.
I think we might go for. But yeah, I wouldn't say I totally agree with you on wide receiver.
Yeah.
I think you think we're loaded, but then you look again and we're not really. But then again, running back, I'm thinking though as well.
Yes, sir. Yeah, there's a few plays we can make, and you know, the best thing is we don't have to get like, you know, running back right away, or we don't.
No.
So we get, you look at it.
Wait till next draft.
Yeah. You know, we could wait. Like at 58, I really think we need to go safety unless there's like an outstanding defensive tackle that just drops. If there's an outstanding defensive tackle there that drops and you can't pass up on it, you know, then you know, you do that, and then maybe you try to trade up, you know, to get your safety or something like that. You know, try to trade you know, the 2 5th-round picks, or one of the 5ths and the 4th, or one of the 5ths and the 3rd, and maybe move up and try to get a little closer, you know, to get one of those safeties still. But how much football? I'm sorry.
I think my biggest problem at the moment this year is trying to keep my feet on the ground. I just can't wait for September. Everything seems to be going so well.
You know,
and I'm just so excited for D-Law and Quinn the other side. I'm just thinking, Jesus Christ, they're going to just eat quarterbacks.
Yes, sir. That's true, 100%. Let me see if I can turn the volume up on this Skype call. No, it's all the way up. But I just wanted to make sure that the fans could hear you, the Cowboy fans.
You could ask me a question. I think I jumped in.
Oh, yeah. Also, how much football do you get to watch out there in England? Do you get a lot of it?
Well, this is my 35th year being a Cowboys fan from the UK. I started in '84 when the channel started showing it over here, and it was awful back then. We used to get highlights of the week after you matches were playing the second week, if you're with me.
Yeah.
For an hour. Now we get pretty much every game you get. We get 3 games on a Sunday night, we get the Monday night game, and we get the Thursday night game.
Wow, I'm sorry. That's outstanding. I'm smoking my shisha, man. But that's really cool. Do you subscribe to the NFL Game Pass or anything? Or
yeah, I've got the basic Game Pass, but I might go for the full one this when the season starts. The only problem is you have to be it's insomnia time.
Yeah.
For us in the UK, you can do the early game, you can do the mid game. But unless you've got no work the next day, you cannot do the late game on the Monday night game. You have to have a pact with the other people at work who are into it and say, don't tell me the score, because there's no way you can stop till 4:30 in the morning to watch that on the work night.
Yeah. I feel I'm the same way over here. I gotta change my schedule up. Luckily, most of my work's done by internet, so I can follow the Cowboys at night to get a couple hours of sleep. As long as I show my face around the airport a little bit, I'm good to go. But that's really cool, man. There's a female that has a Cowboys channel. I think Mark Holmes got her, Katie or something.
Oh yeah, I'm friends with Katie. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Chatted the odd time, yeah.
Oh, that's really cool, man. Well, so you think safety at 58 or maybe defensive tackle if there's a solid one there. And oh shit. Yeah, we lost him, guys. Sorry about that. That probably was either his connection or mine, or maybe he lost his minutes. I know it's expensive to call from England, so hey man, I appreciate you calling in, brother. That was very informative. Hey, Cowboy Nation is growing. That's why we're the number one franchise in the world, I think. And Golden City 2 got a bounce. Okay, Big Country. Hey, what's up, brother? We had some conversation going on in the chat box the other day. Take care, Golden Heart City. What about right offensive tackle at 58? We could. Big Country, one of the things I'm looking at, we are pretty deep. Mr. Truckee in the house. Hey, man, I met you at the draft. I remember now because you were talking to Mark Holmes. You met Mark Holmes at the draft. If you recall, I had the other RV there. Oh, we got another phone call coming in. This might be him. Welcome to the show. This is the Crunk Show. What's up? Who we got and where you from?
Hi, it's Mark again.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, we lost the call there for a second.
Yeah, I ran out of minutes, but you're worth it.
No, that's what I said. I said I think he probably ran out of minutes.
Yeah,
but
don't sweat it.
So what time is it in England right now?
It is 9:15.
Yeah, okay.
21:15.
Oh, that's cool. That's not too bad. It's almost 1 a.m. here. So, Mr. Truckee's in the house. He's one of the guys we met at the draft. So, you got any plans? You got any plans of visiting the USA? Maybe hitting a game or visiting one of the games there?
Seriously, I'm building up to it. I saw the Cowboys in an exhibition game at Wembley Stadium back in 1986. I saw the Cowboys playing a real game in 2014 at Wembley, I think it was, against the Jags.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, that's on the bucket list. Eventually, I will get to come to America to watch a game, hopefully at A&M Stadium. That would be the tip of the iceberg. One day.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I like watching it at home. I either get on my back patio. I got a 70-inch screen TV on the back porch. I get out there and I watch it out there. Or I watch it in the living room and do my live stream from there. But, yeah, I like being at home. But I do like to go at least once a year to a game.
It's always the trade-off with any live sport.
Oh, yeah.
Either there you get the atmosphere but not as good view. At home you get the better view and better angles, but you haven't got the atmosphere.
Yeah, what you need to experience is a true Texas tailgate, brother, with some cooking and some I don't know what your choice of drink is, if it's milk or if it's most British guys.
I'm eating Mark Holmes' cooking. anything, probably milk, because I'm a big wimp when it comes to spice.
Yeah. No, his wings weren't that spicy. He didn't put me on camera because
You don't know how wimpy I am with the spice.
Oh yeah. No, I everything I eat, I put peppers on it. I mean, basically almost my what we call cereal, cornflakes or whatever. Shit, I would put jalapenos on my cereal in the morning if my wife would let me. But
if
not,
I ever get over with you and Mark Holmes, you will see a grown man try that.
yeah. Well, he didn't put me on camera, and the reason was that a lot of people were complaining about the wings, and I took actually a shot glass. I took a shot glass of the hot sauce and choked it down. And he was like, "I'm not putting that on camera. I'm trying to tell everybody my wings are hot. Now you showing me up." I said, "Hey man, I'm from Texas, brother." But he's from Washington D.C. area. You know, the further south you go, typically the hotter the food gets.
Good God.
Yes, sir. So you're in Birmingham. What city?
Well, I'm in Birmingham. Originally, I'm from Nottingham, Robin Hood country.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I live in Birmingham.
Oh, okay, great. Well, you got any news? Any British news for the Cowboys? Any updates on rugby or let's see.
No, I don't do rugby. Our football, your soccer, as you'd call it. My team's Nottingham Forest. We're blowing very hot and cold at the moment.
Yeah.
It's win what we haven't won 2 back-to-back since September.
Oh my goodness.
So it's very inconsistent season.
Well, I'm trying to get my wife to turn into a Cowboy fan, but she doesn't like to see me get frustrated. And hey, to me, we can be up 45-0 or 42-0, and if Dak Prescott throws a bad throw, or Ezekiel Elliott fumbles, or one of our safeties blows a tackle, I go belligerent. It doesn't matter what the score is.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm often, if it's a late night game, being told to shush and keep it down a bit because I'm shouting at the telly at midnight or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I got that issue here. I have about I'm actually living at the Kabul airport. I've got about 4 roommates that live in the rooms next to me. But hey, I tell them, hey, you just have to put up with it during football season.
There's many times I've been dancing around the living room with a sort of a quiet kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
Scores or something.
Well, do you follow the Eagles and the Redskins and the Giants? You follow the division a little bit?
Oh, well, I follow everything. I'm just mad into the NFL. Yeah, I mean, I hate everybody in our division, obviously.
Of course. Well, that's cool,
and
man.
Green Bay and the Patriots.
Yeah, I really was, I guess, not surprised. I was surprised that the Patriots were there. I thought they might fall off last year. And
I was praying they'd fall off.
Yeah, they've got to. But it would be cool. It really, really would be cool to take the Patriots out. You know what I mean? That would be awesome.
Oh.
That would be the ultimate fucking Super Bowl right there.
Especially if they made a recent friend over in the UK who is a Patriots fan. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, it would. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you calling in. You got any updates?
And what I said to you, if you're ever back in the UK, hook me up.
Oh.
Get me on Twitter or whatever, and you've got a tour guide.
Okay, hey, for sure. And if you're ever in the Houston area, give me a shout out here. Shoot me a message. My house is always open to Cowboy fans.
That sounds good.
All right, take care, brother. Thanks for calling in. Get you some minutes.
Have a good one.
You too, sir. Salute.
Bye.
That's cool. See, guys, hey, that's Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is the only owner that can reach out to these other countries and bring in solid Cowboy fans, that follow the football, they follow the division, they hate the Patriots. Even though he had a Patriots friend, I'm sure he doesn't hang out with him on Sunday. That just wouldn't be right. USNBC or later Golden Heart. Stevie Mack, what do you think about AAF? Pretty shitty how they did the players and staff. I'm not up to speed on that. I know that they shut the league down. I don't know, did they not pay the players or not finish out the contract or what the deal was? But I was really hoping that would be kind of a developmental league, especially for the guys off the players. Stevie Mack, I don't remember if you're big on this, or USMC Lambeau or Truckee, you guys let me know. I was hoping they would let players like Rico Gathers go over and play a few games in the AAF, even if they didn't play all the games. You know, sign them for a game or two. Let these guys get out there and see if they got the talent. You know, some of the guys that are lower down on the roster, Kayvon Frazier. You know, let Kayvon Frazier. I know he's taking a risk. Um, oh my God, are you serious? USMC Lambeau. Yes, I guess a lot of the players were in hotels and got kicked out of rooms. All their stuff was left in. Holy shit, bro. That is horrible. Oh man, I hate to hear that. That's tough. And you know these guys are solid. What's up, usual Johnson? How you doing, brother? And you know these guys are the warriors. My Cowboys family in the house. How you doing, my man? Hey, my camera's off. I'm taking phone calls, and I had my Skype on. I had my Skype on when the phone call rang. My Skype was actually on the phone, so it cut my camera off. So we're just doing basically a podcast here. Not much different. Ain't nothing to look at here, anyways. I'm not doing anything but sitting here in front of the camera, smoking some shisha, smoking and not 420 shisha. I know, my Cowboys fan. Uh, like I said, I just hadn't something I never partake in so far. I'm sure I will one day. I'll try it. I mean, there's nothing in life I won't try. So yeah, that was a huge mess. Truckee saying that was a huge mess what they did with the AAF. Man, I didn't hear about that. I was actually trying to get into it, but the draft started, and I involved myself with the draft and the picks and the trades, and I was getting my YouTube channel going again. I kind of shut it down for about a month or two, and I did that just to take a break. You know, all they wanted was a chance to. Yeah, exactly, man. Those guys are warriors, bro. You know, I knew a couple guys that were playing semi-pro ball up in Oklahoma, playing for I think the Oklahoma City team, and those guys struggled, man. They really struggled. I actually had a friend of mine. Every once in a while, I'd throw him a little, you know, I'd take him out to dinner or throw him some money for his electricity or and stuff like that. I did it to help him because he was trying to make it, and it was tough. He was of course bouncing at a club and working during the day and trying to play football on the weekend and trying to work out and try to get his supplements in and trying to eat. That's the biggest thing. Those guys can't eat like a football player needs to eat. You know, when you're playing semi-pro ball and you don't have that paycheck coming, you got to eat, man. I mean, when I was weightlifting serious, I was eating about $1,200 to $1,400 worth of food a month. Just food. $1,200 to $1,300 worth of food a month. And you had to. Eating healthy can get expensive, and it's expensive for football players to have that lifestyle. Um, Crunk, I will call in another day. I will. Oh, okay. Hey, no problem, brother. Um, oh, have a good day at church, brother. Joseph Sandberg on his way to church, man. Thank you very much. And next time I will set the channel up. I'll turn my Skype off on the camera. That was the problem. I had the Skype on the camera, so when people were calling in, it was shutting the camera off. So I just went ahead and left it off. The only way to stop that is completely shut down the live stream and start over. Even hurt players have a pay. Yeah, they have to pay doctor bills on their own and stuff like that. It's really really tough. That was one thing I used to help a friend of mine, Oscar. Like I said, I used to help him with medication and stuff like that. Stevie Mack, I never knew until the other day that E2 Blue played arena football for a year or two until he was injured. My old high school gym teacher played for the Chargers back then. Yeah, it's different, man. And these guys got to put that money away. And I understand them wanting to get paid, but they're definitely getting paid money now where they should not have issues anymore. Um, you know, I can't talk. I'm over here working still because I bought shit that I probably shouldn't have bought, or else I would have taken a job, at one of these companies in Houston a long time ago. But it's worked out. I was over here because I got a lot of vacation. Yes, sir. Crunk, the Crunk News Channel. Crunk News Channel's in effect. What's up, Texas Twister? How you doing? Salute from South Texas, baby. What city you in South Texas there, Texas Twister? So while we're getting some information from the chat box, let me go through here. I still really sold at 58 on safety, unless there's a defensive tackle there. Zachary Nations, they had to take a playing home either on their own money if they had. Oh man, I'm sure dudes took buses and all kind of shit to get out of there. That's horrible, man. And I like the games. The games were fairly interesting. I think the problem with the games were you didn't have those big name players in there. And if you don't get a big name player, if you guys remember Herschel Walker did that. He played in the Canadian League or XFL, whichever one it was, and tried to get that league kick-started. There was a lot of players that did that. So um, you can't compete with the NFL. And my deal is they really need to extend the 16 game season. They got to figure out a way to do that. These players are going to continue to ask for more money. Uh, does anyone have any thoughts? I don't know if anyone knows this. Does anyone have any thoughts on Jerry Jones hiking up the prices at AT&T Stadium? It looks like what he's done is the price of the tickets have almost doubled now. I saw the article I was reading. He hiked the prices up. The tickets that were about 200 are going to be close to 400 now. So any seat, if you guys went to any games previously, the price of the tickets have pretty much doubled. Something to bridge the gap of the NFL through the NFL winter. Yeah, it really was something to bridge the gap. The AFL was. There's still, there's not a lot of news from February, January, February. Once the Super Bowl's over, there's not a lot of traffic. There's not a lot of news until about this time frame. It starts heating up. But that's the really good thing about the internet. Now that the internet is alive and functioning and rolling well, you can keep up through YouTube. You can keep up through blogs, and you can keep up through internet news. So we get a lot more information now than we used to when we have to read the newspaper or we had to go to ESPN and be. Now, if you just want to search Cowboy news, you go out there, you search Cowboy news on the internet, you can get all the Cowboy news you want. So, yeah, the prices are increasing dramatically at AT&T Stadium. You might want to look into that, read some articles, but the one article I read, I only read one article, and it was I believe one of the talk shows or one of the official Dallas Cowboy channels, and he's almost doubled the price of the seats. So it's mostly Senior Bowl and Combine otherwise. Yeah, we get a lot of, and I also saw that NCAA has started some preseason games. I saw the Clemson quarterback had a pretty decent game, like 250 yards. His completion percentage wasn't great, but NCAA football starting up already. They're doing a little preseason games. No hitting the quarterbacks and all that stuff, but still it's college football. Anybody got any questions for the chat room or for myself? Anything that any ideas on trades or stuff with Byron Jones? Stevie Mack had a question earlier. I'll throw that question back out there again. Byron Jones, Taco Charlton, we've got some trade value there. Anybody interested in moving those guys, possibly freeing up some cap? We may have to free up some cap next year. We're looking really good. Right now, I think next year we're looking at 116 million on the cap. We should have next year. What up, Voch Lombardi in the house? Hey, we got Voch Lombardi now. Don't know if it's the truth, Voch Lombardi, but we got a Voch Lombardi in the house. But I know that's his logo, and that looks like it should be him. So we're doing a call-in show, Voch. I've had a few phone calls. My live stream is not my how I can't talk to you and getting me on an O lineman. Hey man, we're not getting an O lineman at 58, bruh. We going safety, and I know you're saying everybody's saying safety. Everybody's saying safety, but we brought too many in. That's just my opinion. And O line, I know we got some issues, but I think Connor Williams is going to play better. Let me go straight to Voch real quick. Let me address my thought on offensive and defensive linemen. I know you used to be an offensive lineman. You know the area well. If you know offensive linemen, you fought a lot of defensive linemen, so you know defensive linemen also. I have a belief, unless you get an offensive or defensive lineman in the top 20, usually it's going to take him a year or two to put that man strength on to where he can be in them trenches. The trenches in the NFL is the most dangerous place in the world, unless you're in Afghanistan or Iraq. So that's why I think we see these development of the offensive linemen and defensive linemen just take a little while. If we had a top 10 pick, I'm all straight going for offensive linemen. If we had a top 10, top 15 pick, I'm all in for going defensive tackle. Hell yes. We got somebody calling in from 310. How you doing? You there?
Oh yeah.
Welcome to the Crunk channel, my friend. How you doing from the 310? Who we got calling and where you from? And if you want to shout out your social media, do that as well, brother.
Oh yeah, it's all good, baby. Well, I'm from Long Beach. This GQ Trailblazer. I know you see me logging in. I go to everybody's show vibes. I show all love. It's all Cowboys, baby. And what's up to everybody on YouTube listening in?
Well, thank you for calling, man. Yeah, I've seen you call in. I think it was Vosh's channel. I listened to you and him chat it up and chop it up a little bit.
Oh yeah. Because I'm always into the draft. I'll be following these guys from high school. So I'm not one of the guys that just check them out once they get to the league. I check them out way beforehand. So
that's cool, man.
I got my numbers up together. Now, really what I wanted to call in about is some people talking about these safeties, man.
What you got?
All right. Now, is it just me, or why does people want a safety that is slower than Van Der Esch at linebacker? I would never, in my wildest dreams, draft a safety running a 4.7 when you have linebackers running 4.4s, 4.5s, and 5.6s. There's no reason to be doing that.
Yeah.
Now, if it was all up to me, which is not up to me, I'm going for players, at least that safety that's running in the 4.4s and the 4.3s.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, a lot of us are yelling safety, and I think we've been on that safety talk because the Earl Thomas, we were fishing for Earl Thomas and it didn't happen. So a lot of people got that safety, and maybe that's why I got it as well. I got that safety bug, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know,
yeah.
but I know Taylor Rapp. I don't know about the other guys' numbers. I did hear that his 40 dropped off quite a bit. So he may drop to us, but like you're saying, speed at the safety position, it is important. Zachary Nation said Thornhill, which I think he should be there, ran a 4.4. So my thing with the safety position is, I think if we should be able to get the 4th or 5th, maybe at worst the 6th best safety off the board. Now maybe the safety quality isn't there this year. So you could be right, but I was looking at defensive tackle and defensive edge rusher. There's going to be about 16 to 17 of them guys off the board by the time we pick. So for quality, I thought safety. To me it looks like a better pick. So what would you do if we're not going safety? What are you looking at?
I really go off the 30 visits. Nowadays, I've been going off the 30 visits for, I guess, about 3 years now. And a lot of people do understand that safety bug has been coming along because we brought in Carl Joseph.
Yeah.
And, when he came up, we ended up drafting who we went with that year, Zeke, right?
Yes, sir.
So, and then everybody wanted Derwin James.
Oh, man.
Passed up on Derwin James.
Well, he was.
Van Der Esch.
Yeah, well, he was 2 picks ahead of us, and we were at the draft last year. I was there with Botch and Joe Boo. We had our little big, our big tailgate, and we were bouncing back and forth, and man, we were running around like crazy at the 17th pick because Darwin James was still there. We just realized it. We were drinking, having a good time, but we were doing the draft show, and we were like, oh man, everybody was running. Darwin James is still on the board. Darwin James is still on the board. This is 17. It's 17. And we were watching, of course, Vita Vea. We knew he was going to be gone, and we knew Darwin James was going to be gone, but he was sitting there 2 picks away, and we started thinking, and then bang, he was gone. The Chargers took him. And 2 picks later, we picked Leighton Vander Esch, and I'm telling you, bro, people hit the cars, they unlocked the emergency brake, and they skeeted the hell out of there quick. everybody was pissed at that late Van Der Esch. They were extremely pissed at the late Van Der Esch pick. But hey, what are we saying now? You know?
Well, honestly, when I saw Van Der Esch at the combine, it was like a light turned on. Him moving fluently. If you really watch that combine live, you can see Van Der Esch moving fluently, in the size of him moving fluently. When you can imagine him being there alongside of Jalen Smith, it just clicked. And then I knew we was going for Van Der Esch, and I wanted Van Der Esch. And I don't understand why people just think that Van Der Esch wasn't going to be a good player. I knew he was going to be a good player. I didn't know he was going to be getting more tackles than Jalen Smith this season, though. That was a surprise.
Bro, and he didn't start as much as he really didn't get as many snaps as Jalen Smith as well. And another thing on that, I think the reason he was under the radar is, of course, the 8-man football thing. Everybody knows about that. But he really only played 1 year at Boise State. He only got a lot of snaps at Boise State for that last year. So I think maybe that's one of the.
I watched Boise State, and also there's the starting running back. Nobody's even talking about this guy. If I've listened to Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones said he would like to have a player that can do the same types of things that Zeke Elliott does. Did you hear him say that as well?
Yeah. I've heard him mention the running back, and Vash is saying he wanted Harold Landry. That was a miss on some people too. Harold Landry is solid, man. God dang. But I heard Jerry Jones mention that as well, and I thought about that. Everybody is. Running backs can go late. You can kind of just pick up a running back as long as you got a good offensive line. You can kind of throw anybody back there. Dude, Zeke is a different animal. Zeke has got to get paid. He needs to be the number one paid running back, and they need to show him also what you're saying, that they're going to bring somebody to take a little bit of that load off of him. Dude, they ran him into the ground, brother.
Oh, yeah, I watched that. But it's okay. I mean, when you're ready for it, Ohio State, he was ready for it coming out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can have it for a lot of workload. And I noticed between that top, I would say top from number 1 to number 10, after the first top 10 players, there is a drop-off after that. The player's talent. The evaluation kind of is murky before the draft. But once you get them on the field, then it pretty much shows. So I'm pretty sharp on my evaluations on my players, but I do want some people to watch out for the running back out of Boise State, Madison, running back. He went to school here in California, San Bernardino. Now I've seen everything about this cat. I watched him from high school all the way up. So I mean, he got dreads right now. So he's real nice.
Yeah, and the Cowboys, half of our team is Boise State, and every one of them seems to work out. I mean, they do.
And he runs like Zeke. If you can watch him, the same types of things Zeke does, hurdles. He does the hurdles. He watches the play develop. He knows where the players is coming, so he has different types of jukes, and that's what people are talking about nowadays. The younger people are talking about it nowadays, and that's what's going on in high school football, is the back jukes. And also incorporating the spins along with those. Because when you run like, let me see, I give you an example. Darren McFadden, Oakland Raiders.
When you run like you're on
this guy coming out.
When you run like you're on PlayStation. When you run like you're a PlayStation player.
Yeah. Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Because the tackles, you got to be able to get away from them tackles. And that's what that guy Madison has at Boise State. And that's why I be talking about this guy. And another player that I really liked, a lot of people didn't talk about, David Long. I'll say it again. David Long, Michigan, cornerback. You got to watch this guy. You guys that's watching right here on YouTube, go watch this guy. He's from L.A., right here, home. This guy is on everybody's hip pocket just the same as Jordan Lewis was. But he's not the same type of, he doesn't have the same type of ball skills as a Jordan
What kind of size
Lewis.
does he have? What size is this guy?
5'11".
Oh, okay. He's good. He's solid.
The only knock on him is that he's not the Chris Richard, the 6'1", 6'2", and up. Now,
Yeah.
the corner out of Baylor, this tall guy, about 6'2", I
Yeah.
think he's like 6'2" to 6'4".
Uh-huh.
That corner out of Baylor coming out this year, you guys better keep a look on that guy. 'Cause
Yeah,
he
he's
might
6'4".
be getting drafted in the seventh. He might be getting drafted in the 7th round.
He's
he might
list-
end up getting that guy.
He is listed at 7'4", 6'4". I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it's all good. It's all good. You know, much love. Yeah,
Yeah.
But this guy, man, he's 6'4". I mean, he don't have all the speed in the world, but he stays on those guys, hit pockets. And I don't know what's going on with Byron and Awuzie getting their heads around when they're following these guys going down the field. When they're in the trail,
Yeah.
they don't seem to never look for the ball.
I
Is
think
anybody else checking this out as Cowboy fans?
No.
We have a very solid. All 4 of those corners can cover.
yes, sir.
All of them. Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, Awuzie. All of those guys can cover man to man. But I don't know if Chris Richard is telling them not to turn their head.
That's what he's doing.
You go for the swipe. Oh, okay, that's what it is. It's the coaching. I understand that.
That's what I think.
But
If you look at,
I'll be looking at it like that.
I know it's crazy, ain't it? And about halfway through the season, I started noticing that a lot. And what I was told was he's training them to do that at this point because they're young. But we were last in the NFL on pass interference, and last by I mean we had the least amount of pass interferences and on defense we were also last on total penalties. And I think that could be one of the reasons we were last on penalty yards because we just didn't get pass interferences. And what he teaches, I guess it's called like I don't know what it's called. I call it a rake concept. That you bring your hands up in front of their face and through their arms, and you just try to break the pass up versus trying to make an interception. I don't like it either.
Oh yeah.
But we were 12th in defense on passing, and we were 5th on the run. But I really think if they start getting better, they get trained better, they get a better concept of the cornerback position. I think they'll start turning their head more. Just a theory, but that's what I was told that he's teaching them at this point. Unless you're in the perfect position to turn around, just play the offensive player and as long as you put your hands in front of his face mask and come up. If he's got his hands together, your hands are going to be inside. Your hands are going to be between his chest and the ball, so he can't bring it to his chest. So
Yeah,
I don't know if
that's
that's
right.
but it's something. It's something I know they do teach corners to do that, but yeah, they don't get their head around. I would like to see that a lot more because they don't know.
Oh yeah, because if you would study someone like a Patrick Peterson, that boy head is always snapping. It is snapping.
Yeah.
Boom. Once he gets his hands on you, boom, 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 then he gonna snap and look for that ball. That's why he gets so least targets as much as he does. I've seen the same thing with it wasn't really the same, but Nnamdi Asomugha, Oakland Raiders.
Uh-huh.
That man used to shut down. Man, I've seen this guy shut down for years and years. But he was, man-to-man press cover. But as far as Anthony Brown goes, I mean, he was drafted. Where was he drafted out of? Purdue, right?
Like the sixth round draft pick.
Oh yeah, 6th round.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anthony Brown was the one that Chris Richard had to really work for
Yeah.
as far as the pass interference goes, because we've seen that
Yeah.
too many times. Him holding people, not letting them run past them, and just grabbing them, just completely getting the pass interference. And then I was thinking to myself, why is Anthony Brown even pointing on doing this stuff? But it was the correction. So coaching does matter, and Chris Richard is doing his job, and I love the job that he's doing out there. I don't know when Rob Marinelli is going to be stepping down for Chris Richard to step in, but I got a lot of faith in Kellen Moore as well.
Raj, I was
Cowboy
just
fans,
about.
everyone listening on YouTube, please have faith in Kellen Moore.
I
Go
was
back
about
and
to
watch
ask
him
you that.
At Boise State. The plays that they ran, why wouldn't you think that he would be
Yes,
running
sir.
and creating those types of plays that he did and ran at Boise State? Those plays were wicked.
I know. You know a question I got? I was going to ask you about Kellen Moore because you mentioned Boise State. I was going to ask you what your thoughts are because their playbook is dynamic, bro. And if he can bring some of those plays into what we already have, and one of the questions I was going to post on my Twitter account, does anyone think Ezekiel Elliott will throw for a touchdown this year? You know, maybe,
yeah, he will.
I think it'd be cool.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, because he draws so much attention, you know, and if you can get one of those not screen passes, but one of those quick pitches out to the edge, and you get the whole defense, you know, those safeties have to react, and they're already in the box. So you get your weak side linebacker or your weak side tight end, run a skinny post or run the seam up the middle. He's probably gonna be wide the hell open.
And then he might even throw a touchdown pass in the red zone to Dak Prescott off of one of those crazy plays that Kellen Moore is going to be chalking up on the chalkboard inside this. I'm telling you, it's going to be so much better than it was last year.
I think so.
Some of those players, I mean, if you really listen to those players, like Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, those guys, them boys will tell you, like, oh, well, these guys are sitting on our routes. You have to listen to that as a coach. And I don't think that, I'm not the best offensive coordinator. I'm no offensive coordinator. If your receivers are saying that these guys are sitting on the routes, Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper can get open almost against any player in as far as a corner goes. There's a few corners that I don't think that they can get off on, except for Amari Cooper. He can get open on anybody because that 4.4 speed is still showing up on the field.
Yeah.
And everybody loved him when we got him, but everybody's sitting around thinking we should move up in the draft. No, we shouldn't.
No, we're
what?
good. I like
starters everywhere.
Yeah,
Jeff Heath is not a poor safety. Jeff Heath is not a poor safety.
No.
Jeff Heath is a good player, and then he also was our designated kicker as well, right?
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, he was our backup. I'm smoking shisha, so he was our backup.
Yeah, it's all good.
He's our backup kicker, and he did all right, man. I mean, he came in, and hey, sometimes, and I really put a lot on kickers. People don't think much of their kickers, but when you get into the playoffs, you're gonna win or lose one of your games with a kicker. Either the kicker's gonna win it for you, and you're going on to the next round, or he's gonna lose it for you. It's just that whether it's at the end of the second half and you're trying to get down in field goal range, or he misses a 33-yarder that he should make, that's gonna put you out of a playoff game because most of your playoff games are gonna be pretty tight.
Yeah, unless you're the Chiefs.
Hey, I know our schedule is out, but they haven't put the dates down. I don't think we played the Chiefs. I don't know if you've looked at it yet, but that's a matchup.
No.
That's a matchup I love. I didn't think so.
And I would not want to see them. I went to the Rams versus I seen the Rams versus the Chiefs in person here in LA. I'm gonna tell everybody this right now. Tyreek Hill is the fastest player I ever seen with my two eyes.
Dude, I've
seen a lot of fast players in my life, but I've never seen nobody as fast and as quick as he is. And you can see it from a quarter of a mile away that how fast he is in comparison to the other players. Yeah. Tyreek Hill is a very dangerous player. If you think you can cover him one-on-one, if he gets by the side of you, he will leave you.
Yeah. I got a nickname for him. I call him Lickety Split. Because, dog, two steps.
Yeah, cheetah.
Two steps and he's full speed.
Yeah, he's a real cheetah.
Yeah, he is quick,
Brandon
brother.
Cooks is fast, too, though. Brandon Cooks was fast as well, though. I did see that. I didn't get to see Cooper Kupp because he was injured and everything. But I'm no Rams fan. I just respect all the teams and all the players because I love the players before they come into the league. So when we get a player, I don't know why the hell they drafted Taco. I don't know what's going on with that situation. Why would they even draft Taco? I was the only player I've seen in the last few years they drafted. I was like, why would you draft Taco? I didn't see it. I just didn't see the whatever it is that you thought you saw. I seen DeMarcus Ware. I seen D-Law. When I seen D-Law, I seen a little DeMarcus Ware in him as well.
Yeah.
Randy Gregory was my favorite pass rusher coming out that year. There was a few other ones like Dante Fowler, Vic Beasley. They was nasty, especially Dante Fowler. He looks real nasty, but that dip, that when you go, what's it called when you go around the corner, like Freeney and you would dip.
Oh,
That dip, you
that
can
bend,
see that in Randy Gregory.
the bend.
Yeah.
When they bend their back and
Yeah.
throw that shoulder back and they arch their back and they then the next step they straighten that back out is straight to the quarterback. Yeah, it's nice to see.
Randy Gregory, and that's why I think that we went ahead and extended him to that 2020. Jerry Jones, no, we still love Randy Gregory.
Yeah,
Randy Gregory's a good person, and also it's the talent. We haven't even drafted a player of that talent at the end in a very long time. Especially with the speed and the quick twitch that he got. With the size, what, he's 6'6"? Oh, yeah, that's nasty.
The thing that's different with Randy Gregory and the situation with the other guys that we've had off the field issues with, Randy Gregory's cornerstone is football still. He's there in the locker room. He shows up. You know, they know he puts 100% effort into football. He's got some and you know, we've seen this in a lot of athletes. I think sometimes the testosterone level in these dudes is so high, like Mike Tyson, it kind of messes their brain up a little bit sometimes. You know what I mean? Just the testosterone level's just off the chart, and they have trouble controlling it sometimes. And I know he had some penalties, and man, some of those penalties I think Randy Gregory had this year, it was just the players know, not the players, the referees know to keep an eye on him because he has he kind of has that Dominican Sue type just ferocity about him. You know what I mean? And the referees key on that. They know, hey, I've been a referee for a while too. I started refereeing basketball when I was like 17. I got up into the junior college level, and I did a lot of high school football. And you do your pregame when you meet in the locker room, and you sit down for about 30 minutes. And you, even in high school, we had, you know, this is in Texas and in Oklahoma where football's big, and I know it is in California and Florida. It's big everywhere, but you had information charts on these guys pregame, and you sat down and it was, okay, we got to watch 58. That guy gets aggressive and he likes to play after the whistle, and he likes to do this, and you got to watch number 13. He holds a lot, you know. We had information on the safeties and the corners and all of that. So I know the NFL, they get their schedule, and they study these players, the referees do, well before the game. So I think that's kind of what happened with the Randy Gregory thing. They they had eyes on him, and some of those low hits, he got hit. You know, a couple of the low hits or hitting the quarterback late. That was, you know, some of those are pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, because he was in the pursuit of the quarterback, and it's just that his body's falling or the position that he's at, and he's still in the pursuit of it. But I understand those penalties because I did see those, you know, and you remember Aaron Rodgers, those types
Hey,
of hits.
are you there? Your volume something. It sounds like your speaker's blocked or something. Can you hear me, brother? Yeah. It sounds like your speaker's blocked, or it's really muffled all of a sudden.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. No problem.
Okay, now you're back. I can hear you good now.
Oh yeah. What I was saying was I can remember those hits. It's just because he was in the pursuit of the quarterback, and then just because the rules changed in the league because of the hits that pretty much take the quarterbacks out for the whole season, like a few years ago, Aaron Rodgers. People remember those injuries. They don't want it happening again. So it's just, I figure the coaches will look at it as, we can see he was in the pursuit of it. It's okay. We're going to get back up on defense and continue to play. There's no reason to cry. We're grown men here.
It's a hustle play. You know, anytime a player gets a play out of a hustle, you know, he's hustling and he just, you know, over hustled, or it's the same in basketball. You know, you have hustle fouls. Those are different than flagrants or you know making a stupid decision. We didn't see a lot of the stupid decisions out of Randy Gregory, and he played well. I want to see him on the field too, man. I hope the Cowboys can get him there, and maybe Jerry Jones has some insight, some backdoor news, you know, that he can't share with everybody. But I'm glad we signed him as well.
Oh yeah, I love Randy Gregory, and I know it's a different thing, but Deebo Samuel, South Carolina.
Yeah, bro. Everybody's hot on that.
But also, if we can't get Deebo, Emmanuel Hall from Missouri, wide receiver. But I don't really like Emmanuel Hall as much as I like what's the kid named Hardman from Georgia, wide receiver, ran 4.34 in like a 4.36 at the combine.
Yeah,
now, that guy, if we miss, let me see, Tavon Austin. If Tavon Austin has a hamstring injury, Hardman can come in and return kicks, return punts.
Randall Cobb.
I don't know why they used to line up Cole Beasley back there, but I think that they're trying to get away from the short slot receiver, because when they traded away Ryan Switzer, it kind of came to me like, Ryan Switzer is way better than Cole Beasley.
Oh, man. Brother, don't get me started. Don't get me started on Switzer, man. I love that little kid, man. He was tight. I like that. He ran some routes. He had great hands, and he just didn't get on the field because we had Cole Beasley, and I think they didn't want to disrupt things. Or I don't know why he didn't get on the field more.
Well, I think that offensive coordinator that we got rid of had a little piece to do with that as well.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Hey, what do you know? My advocate, I always have one player every year that I follow that's usually a mid to late round guy. But last year, if you watch Oakland a little bit, I was big on PJ Hall. Man, I was calling that dude's name every pick in the draft, when we came up on the Cowboys, and he was supposed to go in the 4th or 5th round. He was a defensive tackle. The dude had 14 block kicks out of Sam Houston State University, kind of a small school guy. He was supposed to go in the 5th or 6th round. He had a 38-inch vertical, 37 reps, and Oakland got him in the 2nd round. I knew he was going to go early. But he played really well at Oakland. So he was a guy I watched last year. This year, my pet cat, I guess some people are calling this pet cat shit, is a new word thrown around, is Jalen Hurd.
Yeah, because it's because of Brian Broaddus. It's out there.
I don't like it. It sounds goofy to me, but that's the first time I've ever used it, actually. But Jalen Hurd out of Baylor is a guy I'm pushing for.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Dude, I've got like 10 videos on that guy.
Are you kidding me?
Is it bad or good?
Are you kidding me? There is no reason he should not be on our 30 visits.
Yeah.
Are you kidding
me? Well,
me?
There's a reason, I think. And I was watching a video earlier today, and the Patriots are big on this. The Patriots will automatically not show interest in a guy that is expected to go late, and they'll get him in the 3rd round, and boom, he turns into, Willie McGinnis. They never brought Willie McGinnis in.
Mm-hmm.
They never talked to Willie McGinnis. Willie McGinnis, I saw a video on him today. The Cowboys were so hot for Willie McGinnis. They were all on his jock. They were going to get him. He even went the day of the draft. That was the only hat he had. He carried around a Dallas Cowboy hat because he knew he was going to be. And the Patriots snatched him up. And he was like, the Patriots never called me or talked to me or nothing. And Willie McGinnis, Hall of Famer. Willie G, that's somebody in the chat box just shouted out for Willie G, but maybe I'm hoping that's what the Cowboys are doing. I'm hoping.
Yeah. Now see Willie. My uncle know him. My uncle know Willie.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's all good. Yeah, Cali boys. Yeah, it's a lot of talent out here in Cali. If you're thinking about any school, you're looking around. I mean, high school.
Yeah.
Gonna be Folly. From that school, Deshaun Jackson. There's a lot of Cali kids that be hard, real hard. I mean, in speed too. When you're looking for speed, come to Cali first.
Yeah. Hey, hold on just a second. Take care, Truckee. Nice seeing you in the chat box, brother. I stand by one of the guys that was at the draft with us last year. He stopped in. He was a veteran.
Oh, yeah, big guy.
He was a veteran. He drove his truck up there, and we got to meet him. He was just driving through Dallas and stopped to say hello. He's a long haul truck driver, I think, if I recall right. But yeah, Jalen Hurd's a guy I'm on. I don't ever try to sell my videos. My channel is monetized. Well, it will be. But all my proceeds from my channel, I'm going to give to Dak Prescott's foundation. So a shout out to Dak Prescott and his cancer foundation. But Jalen Hurd is a guy, I've got about 6 or 7 videos on him. And, he a Heisman Trophy candidate as a sophomore at running back, and then sits out a year. Only reason he sat out a year is because he didn't want to kill his body at running back and have a 5-6 year, 4-year NFL career. I think he's going to be an outstanding 6'4" slot receiver, man. And he can do the kick returns, punt returns like you were talking about. I really want to see him on our roster.
Man, I don't even know where. I can't say it no better than you. I just can't. Because, I love him, and I would think him and Noah Brown. If worst comes to worst, Noah Brown can come in if Gallup was to get injured or was to get hurt, or Cooper was to get hurt. There's a reason why they keep Noah Brown on the roster.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they keep players like Rico Gathers on the roster.
Oh,
because
yes,
they
sir.
know that upside.
That's my boy.
That upside. Yeah, when people want to just, no. That upside. Darius Jackson.
Yeah.
You can see the Darius Jackson of running people over. Oh, wow. When he ran the 40, you see, oh, he can run people over and he's fast. That's why he's still on the roster. If anybody want to hate on Darius Jackson, I'm going to tell you just like this. Darius Jackson, Noah Brown, who else is, oh, Darian Thompson, the safety that we got from Boise State, from the Giants.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about him.
Yeah, I haven't heard any.
Nobody from the Cowboys Nation talking about Darian Thompson. Like, did you guys not see him in college? He has not fallen off.
Yeah.
He was still good playing for the Giants. He's the backup for Xavier Woods. There's no reason for you guys to be talking about a backup safety to him because he's a backup to him.
Yeah.
Now, there could be an upgrade to Jeff Heath. That's the tackling angles.
Yeah.
Jeff Heath is fast, too. Jeff Heath is fast.
Yes.
Jeff Heath don't run like a 4.5. He run in the 4.4s.
Yeah, Jeff Heath.
Tell me when the time you can see Jeff Heath just get burnt.
No, I know.
He may take a bad angle, and that's it.
I saw.
He doesn't give up on the play, but his tackling, he needs to wrap the fuck up.
Yeah, that's all.
I'm sorry about that, but he needs to wrap
no, you're
up
good.
all the time.
I have
throwing
no.
The shoulder, him throwing the shoulder, he cannot continue to just throw the shoulder or just throw a big hit. He needs to wrap up. If he wraps up, he can get more tackles than a lot of the players that we got on the squad right now. Because Jeff Heath, he knows where the ball is going, and he's good. He's a good player.
Yeah, he really reads the defense good. He's usually in position. The only thing that like I think we agree on it because I'm changing your words up a little bit, but I think we're in the same zone. He takes a bad angle sometimes, and when he takes that bad angle, he's like tackling at the ankles. The one that burned us on it. Tate burned us a couple times in that Detroit game, and he went for those 2 touchdowns. One of them was him, and one was Xavier Woods. But that was early, and Chris Richard has got those guys playing better now than they were, up through Game 6 and Game 7. And I know we got Amari Cooper, but part of the reason I think we played better after we got him was, we changed the offensive line coach up. We changed the offensive line up a little bit. Cooper came in. We did a lot of adjustments that bye week, and then also the play of Xavier Woods and Jeff Heath did pick up towards the end of the season.
Yeah, that's right. Kayvon First is still there because they know he can be. They looking at him like he can potentially be a Cam Chancellor.
Yes, he has some size, and he had some flashes too. He had a matter of fact, I was talking to Vach. I asked him one time. I said, "Hey, what you think about Kayvon Frazier?" And he's like, man, he's all right. You see some flashes, and I agree with him. It's not like he's a starting safety or nothing, but some of these players, maybe didn't have the right coaching in college or weren't on the right program, and you coach them up and they become, 4th, 5th round, guys that end up making the Pro Bowl, end up making the Hall of Fame and shit. And I'm not saying that's where Kayvon Frazier is, but he had a play where he was blitzing. He got a sack, and then later in the game he had a play where he was blitzing. This was in preseason, I think, and he wasn't going to get to the quarterback, but he tipped it, and we got an interception. And I was like, oh, yeah, we got our new safety. And then we didn't see him much anymore.
Yeah, they did say he got injured in the middle of the season this year. So I guess the progress kind of got stopped, and he got to just come back on this year. So there's a reason why they're keeping a hold of him, because they see I would look at it like this. The Seattle defense that they had out there, the Legion of Boom, that Xavier Woods would be like the Earl Thomas. That's how it is, kind of. But it's just, Xavier Woods is not an Earl Thomas as far as the hands and the eyes and when you get the ball in your hands, returning it for a touchdown. If you really scouted Earl Thomas coming out of Texas University, you can see, oh, look at the ball hawk, just like Ed Reed.
Yeah.
And Ed Reed were those 2 ball hawks, Hall of Fame type of ball hawks. Those are, you can't really compare it to the players. Yeah. And then at the same time, you can't be trying to compare the Cowboys to the Patriots.
No.
The Cowboys we have to do certain things that they're just not going to do. Like we have to have stars, people who have like character, interviews, because people are going to come to us. They're always going to come to the locker room. Hey, look, we want to talk to him and see his character, see how they talk, and if a buzz. Because even when we have losing seasons, like we've had a lot of losing seasons, you still have to have an interest of the players, the team. You still got to generate money, cash flow. That's a business. Even when you lose, you cannot win every year. But with the team that we're building now, I can see that happening.
Yeah,
but I don't have any. I just don't want to see Jalen Smith go. I don't want to see Jalen Smith go because there's no cap.
I don't want to see that either. And that's one of the things I really liked about Jalen Hurd. I've watched a lot of his interviews, and he's top notch, man. I mean, when he was talking about the transition and the reason he did it, and he didn't
like back to wide receiver.
Yeah, he didn't like leaving Tennessee, but he openly asked him. And the problem was they brought Alvin Kamara in the year behind him, and they were running Alvin Kamara wide and outside the tackles. And he was there between the tackle guy, and he was taking a beating, and the same kind of thing we might see coming on with Ezekiel Elliott. This guy's he's gonna get wore down, and we got to bring somebody else in to help him. And when I saw the Jalen Hurd interview, and he was talking about, I'll play running back, I'll play, I love to play wide receiver, but if I got to finish the season, he said, if I got to finish the season or finish a game because a running back goes down, I have no problem. I'll play running back, but I don't want to play 25 snaps between the tackle, and that's tough for anybody.
That flexibility. I love that flexibility with Jalen Hurd.
Exactly.
I love that. Knowing that he can run the ball, and then he can go out and play wide. He can do it all. He'll baller.
Yeah, and you think of lining this up. Think of lining this up. Our offensive line, which we know is solid, and you got one of our tight ends in there. I don't think we really have a standout tight end. I think the only standout tight end we have is Jason Witten, and that's just on like a third and short, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4. I want to see him out there. Other than that, I hope we don't see him a lot. Rico Gathers has got the blocking down. He's really got the blocking down a lot. You know what I'm saying? You see him on first down quite a bit. You see Rico Gathers out there on first down. But if we line up Cooper and we line up Randall Cobb and we line up Jalen Hurd and you got Gallup out there, that's 4 wide receivers. I don't think a lot of teams can mess with that.
That's going to be real nice.
Yeah, and
that's
three
gonna be real nice.
3 of those guys we already have, and we throw Jalen Hurd in there. You can mix. I don't know what's going to happen with Hearns. I know he's carrying like a $5 million cap hit for us. I hate the injury. I had to go walk away from the TV when I saw that. But
yeah,
man,
me too. I didn't even look at it.
Yeah.
I just said no. I'm not even going to look at that. I'm like, ooh, it looked nasty.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, and I saw it once, and then I turned away. I was watching that Monday night game when Joe Theismann had his legs, and that was back in the day. They showed it like 4 or 5 times. I was like, oh man, what do they keep showing that for? But they don't do that now these days. They huddle around the player. They make sure they cover up his leg because it's hanging by the tendons or whatever. But
gruesome.
Yeah. So you're in the Cali area, right?
Injuries are bad. I watched Michael Irvin hit the turf and didn't get up. That was a sad day, and that was a sad day in Swagville right there, my G.
Oh yeah, bro. Oh shit. Yeah, that was tough to see. And I hate seeing that, and that's why these players are asking for money, and that's why they want to get paid. And to me, that's why I would like to see them extend the season out. A few more games, so that you had more money for for the players, the roster players that are making $600,000. Those are the players that have issues with future money and stuff like that, because your big time players get that money, and there's not a lot of guys left for your roster players. Antoine Woods, man, that guy played. Man, I can't wait to see him play this year. I really think he played pretty good for what we got him for, and for what he came in as, the position that I think he was undrafted or super late round. Antoine Woods was, and he came in and played fantastic for us.
Antoine Woods was a player I didn't know until he was on our team.
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
know who he was.
Yeah, nobody hardly did, and it was because he was such a, being an undrafted free agent or whatever he was. I know he was super late, and we picked him up for nothing and he came in and he played some good ball for us.
Yeah.
Another thing I was looking at is we got Looney. He's freed up this year, and I would like to see him try to maybe play a little guard or something every once in a while.
He will.
I hope so. I think he
If he
played
has
well,
to. Yeah.
especially.
Suafilo, now I don't know how closely people watch Suafilo, but
Oh,
sometimes that
I
guy
love that
was
dude.
just early off it. He missed a few. He was missing a few key blocks that
Yeah.
could have sprung into touchdowns. But I mean, hey, everybody's not going to be the best. It's coming straight off the rap, but it's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay. He played decent. I mean, a decent game is cool, but I want to know where all them sacks was coming from. Because if Prescott was getting sacked all those times, I wasn't really counting how many times he was really getting sacked. But him holding on to the ball too long is better than an interception or a fumble. I know that for a fact. A sack is way better than a turnover. So
well, Dak
it is
Prescott,
what it is.
he led the league in two things that I do know of. He led the league in fumbles with 14, but he led the league in fumble recoveries with 7. So at least at least he jumped up and looked for the ball, when he knew it was loose. But yeah, I remember, I do recall, and I go back and I watch, every once in a while I watch a game from last year, and I actually like watching the losses. I like watching the Saints game because I like to see our deficiencies. And I do recall calling Lyle Collins' name out quite a bit, man, too much. And a lot
Oh,
of
that's where it was coming from. Because
yeah.
I wasn't even studying Lyle Collins' whole little shindig last year. I was not paying attention to him. I was more paying attention to all the rest of the players. And I was also watching the center. Because
Yeah.
I was like, well, I know I know
Fred-
Travis is solid. Ain't nobody finna just get past that. But I did see some stunts. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
these stunts right here, we're not going to handle some of these stunts well.
And that was the reason.
Like I said before, the Taco Charlton, I have no idea why they drafted Taco. Why would you draft Taco when J.J. Watt's little brother is sitting right there? Do you not know bloodlines matter?
Oh man, yeah. I had an answer for you on. I had an
Come on
answer.
now.
I had an
JJ,
answer for
Come
you.
on now.
I had an answer for you on the Taco Charlton thing, and then you brought that up, but that blows my theory out of the water. But if you recall, when we drafted Taco, we were still kind of waiting for DeMarcus Lawrence to come around, and he had some injury issues and stuff like that, and he hadn't had that what do you call it, double-digit sack year yet, So I
Yeah.
thought that maybe they brought him in to push DeMarcus Lawrence and see if DeMarcus Lawrence didn't work out. They were gonna go ahead and bring Taco Charlton up and try to bring him up through the ranks and then let DeMarcus Lawrence go, and then bang, DeMarcus Lawrence comes out with his big 14.5 sack season, and Taco's sitting behind him, and he just hasn't got a lot of playing time. And I think these players in the trenches, offensive linemen and defensive linemen, they take a year or two to get that man strength, get on that NFL weightlifting program, get on that NFL eating program, and put that strength and that weight on so they can start throwing guys. We're still waiting on Connor Williams to come around a little bit, and part of that is I think they're still kids at 23, when they're 320 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
That they're still kind of, now you could bring a safety in at 23 years old. He's got all of his tools already. That's the perception I see. I did look at the draft 16, 17, and 18, and it's a stat I kind of like. 16, 17, and 18, if you combine all those years together, there was like close to 60 defensive linemen came off before 58. I'm looking at 58 because, that's our first pick. 60 defensive linemen came out at 58. Only 4 of those defensive linemen made the Pro Bowl. Then I looked at safety and corner. I kind of combined those safeties and corners. There was 26 corners and safeties came off in 3 years. That's about six safeties a year. 6 or 7 safeties a year come off at 58, but 10 of those made the Pro Bowl their rookie year. So safeties and corners seem to adapt to the NFL game a lot quicker than those big ass guys in the middle that need to bench 400 pounds, and you're not doing that at 23 years old. That's my perception. But that was some numbers I looked at. That's why at 58, I'm stuck on safety unless there's a beast mode defensive lineman out there that just kind of falls. Gerald Willis is one I'm looking at, but he has that Ndamukong Suh persona where he kind of has some aggression issues, and sometimes he plays after the snap, or do kind of actually like that Randy Gregory type aggressiveness. But
I feel you. I feel you.
But that's one of the players I'm looking at 58. If we don't go safety, I would like to see. But I am with you on the Taylor Rapp thing. The 4.7. If that's who you were talking to when you initially started the call, his
Yes.
his 40 dropped off, and nobody knows where it came from. Actually, Jalen Hurd's 40 dropped off as well. He was supposed to run between mid 4.4s, like 4.45 to 4.55, somewhere around there. And at his pro day on April 2nd, he ran a 4.65 or 4.66. So he wasn't as fast as they thought he was going to be. But the Dallas Cowboys haven't shown really too much interest in him, other than I watched the shows like the Cowboy shows, and they do talk about him a little bit. Those shows that they have at the Star there, the draft table and all that. But I think still, I think he did just have his knee scoped like 4 weeks ago, a month and a half ago, and you recover from that quickly.
That might be a reason why.
Yeah, his 40 was a little slow, but he had his knee scoped, which is not a major thing, but it does take a little recovery time.
It could be a mental thing as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
Some people don't never get injured in their lives when it's like, oh well, it affects your mind state. Yeah, when you have a surgery after a football injury or anything like that, your mind state, oh well, pushing it to the limit can come in. It plays in. The mind part of the game comes into play. So running a 40, if you had a surgery, running a 40, blowing it out the water, and running your fastest, like, oh well, this is going to have to be the fastest 40 I ever ran in my entire life, because, well, all the money that I'm going to get after this point is going to be, half of it is going to be dependent on this. Let's say he ran a 4.29.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurd ran a 4.29 at his 40. Oh my God, he's a first rounder.
Yeah, exactly.
They would have been all over that. You would
yeah.
You would have heard that all over the waves. But I mean, it's okay.
I'm hoping he's sitting there at our 90 pick, and that's why, to me, I'm looking. I think we've got our defensive line pretty solid right now, and then we still have time after the draft to try to pick up a free agent D tackle. There could be some guys cut. One of those big trash can guys, one of those big heavy dump truck dudes in the middle that we could pick up after the draft. Actually, Stevie Mack in the chat box. This dude, he studies a lot, man. I don't think he has a YouTube channel, but
hey, what's up, Stevie Mack?
Yeah,
what's up, Stevie
you know him
Mack?
too, yeah.
Continue to come to the show, man. Stevie Mack is always there. He's the one that's always correcting with the name butchers.
Oh man, I'm a name butcher, dude. I get nervous. I told him before, I get nervous on my channel when I log in and I'm on here about 5 minutes and Stevie Mack ain't there. I try not to start saying names because I always need him for my backup. But he said T.J. Watt was more of a 3-4 guy. That's why the Cowboys didn't look at him as strong as they did Taco Charlton. So
I guess it really don't matter now.
Yeah.
Now Cowboys fans are looking at it like, oh well, we don't want him. That's what you really got to do. Get that stuff out of your mind. You can't go into it like, oh, put a person in the box. Like Jeff Heath. Why would you put Jeff Heath in the box?
Yeah.
Don't put like a person like Jalen Hurd. You can't even put him in the box like, oh, he's just a big slot. Are you kidding me? Guy, you have to watch everything that the person does and listen to them talk. Because when you hear him talking, you be like, oh, he's a baller. Or you can look into a person's eye and be like, nah, I really don't know about this guy. He doesn't seem like he really wants to be playing football like that. You really want those types of players.
Yeah. So why do you think the Rams had such a good game running against us when really we had two games during the season that we got killed on the run? And that was, if you remember, it was against the Colts and against the Rams. If we wouldn't have had those two games, we probably would have been like second or third with run defense. But those two games just killed us. And we were still in that playoff game with the Rams. We were still in that game.
The real reason why we only lost by 8 points is because we got outcoached.
Yeah.
We got outcoached, and those guys on the offensive line for the Rams are good blockers. Come on now.
Yeah.
When you have really good blockers, and then that's what happened. That's honestly what happened. They ran the plays. The players in the backfield are great running backs, and guess what happened? We got outcoached, and some of the times, like Van Der Esch may take this route, and then also Sean Lee may take this route, and then they'll get blocked, and you're just getting blocked. If you're getting blocked by guys that are huge, those guys that's on the line are huge.
Yeah.
Have you guys? Let me just say it like this: for people who have never been to an NFL game, the playmakers, those are little people on the field in comparison to the O-line and the D-line. The D-line and the offensive line are huge men.
Yeah.
They're not just, you cannot just spin off of a 320-pound man like you want to when they're skilled and knowing you're going to do so. They're coached just as well as we're coached. But in that game, they already knew, okay, let's bring up this coach game. Oh, this is how you get them towards up in the middle. That's how you do it. Boom. And that's what happened. I don't believe it was the players' fault for you lose a game when sometimes you just get outplayed. It wasn't because we were a worser team than them. We are not a worser team than them. And right now, I would say that our roster is better than the Patriots by a long shot.
I believe so, brother.
We can play them on the first week because we play in them this year.
Yeah.
Everybody in Cowboy Nation, we're playing them.
Yeah.
Make sure you remember this.
We get our rematch.
We should be able to beat them by 14 points.
They
shouldn't even be close to us.
You
because
mentioned
Stephon Gilmore is the only player on defense that can stop us. Outside of Stephon Gilmore, cornerback, he's the only player that can stop us. Who else is on the defense that's going to stop us? Nobody.
Tear it up, brother. Tear it up. Because you know why? What my perception of our coaching has been is three things. We don't have very good clock management at the end of games, and that was really relevant in the Washington game that we lost. Another one is what you just said, our ability to adjust. They cannot adjust. When we start having issues, they don't adjust properly. And the other one is, I had another one, I can't remember what it was, but those are the main two. Not being able to adjust and our clock management at the end of games. That kills us sometimes.
We were still close in that Rams game, though. That was only 8 points, so I don't know why a lot of people be talking like, oh, we need to change this or change that, change this. No, you just needed to have a better game plan on defense throughout the game as far as coming through the A-gap and all that right there. You cannot have that keep going on, but them guys was blocking.
Yeah.
They're really legitimately getting paid just as well as Antoine Woods and DeMarcus Lawrence, Sean Lee and Jalen, as well as we're getting paid. They're getting paid to do the same thing, win the game. The Rams was not a weak team this year. They were very, very good, and the offensive line is the reason why they were as good as they were, because Jared Goff is not better than Dak Prescott. Todd Gurley is just a smidget better than Ezekiel Elliott, and that's only because of what? Maybe he could jump higher. That's it. But he got what, a little better of a stiff arm, and that's it.
Yeah.
But other than that, they're 1-1. There's not a 1A, 1B. There's a just straight one. That's Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon Barkley, Le'Veon Bell. You name them, they right there. They're all matched up as A1 players.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
I got a comment from Cheyenne Maxwell, and I agree with him.
What's up, Maxwell?
Hey, I gotta agree with him. They ran on us really well. I think what you're saying, we just got outblocked that game, and they in the man positions. I call them the man positions. Those guys up front, like you're talking, those are fucking men, bro. And we got manhandled up front, and on both sides of the ball, really. You know, Ezekiel Elliott didn't have a great game as well. And what a lot of, and I just saw this about 5 or 6 times in the chat box, so I don't know where this came from, but too many people are saying it. They're saying that the Rams knew what we were going to run when we lined up. and they knew our defensive scheme by when we lined up. And I like a defense. I like to see defensive players shift around. During like right before the snap. Maybe Jalen Smith step up between the tackle and the guard and fake a blitz. Just act like he's coming and step back.
Yeah.
Or both him and Van Der Esch.
Now see what you talking about. The team that I've seen in my time frame watching football, because I'm 32 now, is the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes.
Ed Reed,
Terrell
Suggs, Dar Sizzle, all those players, they would continue to move around before the snap, so you can see, I can't tell what they're finna do. That's what you're talking about. Absolutely. I always love that, but a lot of teams, I guess, they just don't do that. It's okay, though, but just like I guess a lot of people inside YouTube and our Cowboy Nation, if they did see, hey, we don't have that offensive coordinator no more.
Yeah.
So that play will not be called. Kellen Moore, let's get it.
Yeah, what used to kill me is on 3rd and 15, we would throw a little screen to Cole Beasley or something like that. And I'm like, what in the hell are they doing? One game I counted, bro. I went back and watched the game. There was 22 little screens thrown to the receivers and running backs. And I'm like, that's too fucking much, man. I know Ezekiel Elliott can break one of those for 75 yards every once in a while. And he'll break them for 25 yards and 15 yards. But you can't run 20 of them and shut your offense down trying to get that 75-yard play. You know what I'm saying? It just so I'm hoping Kellen Moore will change that up a little bit. I like the screen plays, the bubble screens. Oh, my God, I was getting tired of saying another fucking bubble screen on 3rd down. God, push the ball up the field a little bit. And we always did it after we would get some holding penalties, and it'd be 1st and 20 or 2nd and 15 or some shit like that, and it looked like they were just trying to get a couple more yards so they could punt. And it seemed like they weren't trying to get the 1st down. The offensive play that was given to Dak to run wasn't set up to get a first. It was like it was set up to get a few more yards, or if the defense missed a couple tackles, we get the 1st down. But you can't count on that all the time.
That's right. You're right. You're right about that. 100.
100. So you watch, not watch, but you follow the Rams a little bit being out there in L.A., right?
Oh yeah. See, the thing about me is I follow the players from high school. So when they get to the league, it's like, they got Todd Gurley. Like, of course, I'm still a Todd Gurley fan.
Yeah.
He was a Todd Gurley fan before he got suspended for selling his own helmets, his own stuff. I'm like, why? I don't like that rule in college. Anyways, why you can't sell your own cleats? You sign them and then you get some money off of it. The school ain't finna pay you anyways.
No.
So, why not? But, hey, if you got those rules, you got those rules. So yeah, I'll follow you. I'm following you. Yeah, go ahead.
So how much would you pay for Zion Williams' pair of blown-out Nikes? Dude, that shoe's got to be worth a couple $1 million for those. You know what I'm saying? That's a classic shoe.
That boy like LeBron James and Vince Carter rolled up in the one once he get off that ground. I seen him jump from the free throw line too. I'm like, man, Zion Williams, he the next one.
Yeah, he's nasty, bro. Really nasty. I can't wait to see him in the NFL. I hope you have those teams you just don't, for some reason you can't grasp. I'm like you. Let me say this before I talk about the teams I don't like. I follow certain players and I like them, and no matter what, like, I don't give a damn about the Cardinals this year. But if they pick up a certain couple players that I like, I'm gonna watch the Cardinals this year a little bit. Just check them out. Not like I'm pulling for them to win, or I'm pulling for them to win the Super Bowl. But I'll watch a player, just to see, man, that dude's a beast. Especially if they're under the radar type guys. And the New York Knicks are one of the teams I just can't. I never liked the guy that went to the Knicks. He got picked right after LeBron. God damn, Stevie Mac, where you at? The basketball player. They won.
Where you at, Stevie Mac?
Yeah, he won the championship with Clemson as a freshman, and then he got drafted right after. And then he was gonna go to Houston, and he bounced around. Carmelo Anthony. Thank you, Alexander. See, somebody in the chat.
Carmelo Anthony. Man, look, listen.
I've just never been a Carmelo fan.
If you're not playing defense, you can play on my team. If you cannot play defense, I don't care if you can put 60 points on the board. If you're not playing defense, you're not putting the jersey on. Period. This is basketball. You need to play defense and offense equally.
Yeah.
If not equally, you need to be close to it. Oh my God, no, Carmelo.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I've never been a Carmelo fan, bro. And that's the only
he
reason.
He went and stole all that money from New York. He went and stole all that money from New York. That's what he did. He stole all that money.
And Stephen A. Smith just loves that dude. I don't know why, man. But I guess he's a Knicks fan.
Stephen A. Man, he be everywhere, man.
Yeah, he's everywhere. Did you see the situation with they had the fight in the NBA game the other day, and I guess it looked like he ran out on the.
Oh no, I didn't. I'm not watching. I'm not watching no NBA games, and I'm not watching no NBA games this season. None.
Yeah, I know it was a highlight.
Either the Golden State Warriors are going to be another W. That's going to be it. Golden State is going to win. If they lose, okay, they lose. But the Lakers didn't win. I'm a Laker fan, so there's no reason for me to watch. But other than that, I'm following the Cowboys 365.
Oh yeah, that's it. I don't follow basketball too much anymore. I did play on a traveling team in Europe for the military. I played a couple years in JUCO basketball in Texas and Oklahoma. But I loved basketball. But once I really started following the Cowboys when I was really young. And then when I joined the military and went over to Germany, I wasn't able to watch football over there in the 90s. You know, you didn't have the internet back then. You didn't have, you had games on it starting at like, 9 o'clock at night, and I could watch a little bit, but the Cowboys weren't doing that well at the time. And then they got their run in the 90s, but still it was so hard to watch because I was a young cat in the military. I had a lot of responsibilities to learn shit, and I couldn't stay up and watch them, So I did fall off for a while, but it wasn't because I didn't care for the Cowboys or love them. It's just my schedule was too damn hectic and difficult and traveling and shit like that. But I did fall off the basketball wagon. I like to watch the tournament. I like to watch the playoffs. But regular season basketball, I can't watch too much. But the fact I love about football was something you said earlier. You have 325-pound dudes that can run, like a 4'9", 4'8", 40, and then you have 5'8" dudes that weigh 180 pounds. That can cut a route and or hit and tackle well. Like Earl, you just have such different dynamic of athletes in football. It's amazing, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, back in the 90s, you couldn't see like a player like the Honey Badger. Thomas. You didn't see somebody 5'9" playing corner, 5'8" playing corner. It was very few.
Yeah.
And then also like a player like a Cole Beasley. My boy from the Jacksonville Jaguars, Jadon Meekins. I know a lot of people don't know him, but shout out to my boy Jadon Meekins as well. But you couldn't see so many of those smaller players. But since we have trailblazers getting out there like a Bob Sanders back in the day, we got players like Cole Beasley today running. And then we got Maurice Jones-Drew.
Bill Bates.
Barry Sanders.
Bill Bates back in the day.
Running backs. They trailblazed it. So now the younger players that are shorter or smaller, they got a place in the league now. And I like that about the league.
Yeah. My new Bill Bates is we talked about him earlier, Kayvon Frazier, because he's doing really well on special teams. I like to see him on, man, he does so great on special teams. I'm hoping, one day he can take that kind of like that Bill Bates role that Bill Bates had for a while, even though the Cowboys weren't that great during his era. That's why he was probably on the field as much as he was. But Bill Bates was a solid hitter, a solid, really solid special teams player. So, you have guys that they just take a little while to develop. They just take a little
I knew
time
Woodson. I knew our safety Woodson.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that guy, but that's good.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you calling in, man. I'm gonna hit the chat box up a little bit. You're always welcome to call. I try to do live shows about this time at least 2 days a week. And let me check the Twitter box real quick before I end the call. There might be something we want to discuss on the Twitter. Ian Rappaport. Just some stuff on the Dolphins defensive line. Juwan Young had a workout with the Lions. Oh, this is all draft stuff. The guy's working out. Another guy that didn't have you just mentioned him. He didn't have a great combine. Was Tyrann Mathieu. That dude only had, I can't remember, it was like 6 or 7 reps on the bench, And man, that threw up a big red flag for him. And I watched a TV show. There's a guy from Baldwin. He's a guy that does combine stuff. He like trains people to improve their combines, and he actually trains also people that have like had motorcycle accidents or have trouble walking. He has a gym up there in Detroit where he does all this crazy stuff with these athletes. And he took Tyron Smith, and he was up there training with all these guys, and it's a TV show. You can check it out. I can't remember the name of it. It's a really interesting TV show because he had some guys up there that were supposed to be like really late round guys, and they were blowing Tyron Smith away in his gym activities, and he was having them do cone drills, and these guys were blasting Tyron Smith away. I was like, dude, this guy ain't gonna be shit in the NFL. He just don't have it. I don't know what he had in college, but there's something some of these players have that ball hawk skill. They know where the ball's going to go. They know what that quarterback's going to do. They're in the right place at the right time, and they can hit. And that's what Tyrann Mathieu has. And
oh
plus,
yeah, he a baller.
He
that's
is.
what we call it in the street. Oh yeah, when you a baller, everybody know like, oh yeah, he gonna go get that. He a baller, come on now.
Yeah.
Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah.
You can see that from day one. Like, oh yeah, he a baller. He gonna go get that. He gonna get the picks. He gonna get the hits. I mean, but he gonna get hurt too. But it's gonna be okay. I mean, if you want to sign him, you gonna sign him. But at the same time, he hasn't won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing people dog out. People dog out the Cowboys for for not winning the Super Bowl. But I will say this one thing: the Patriots won again. So since we've won our last Super Bowl, only 13 teams have won a Super Bowl. That's 19 other teams that haven't. And before Philadelphia won, it was only 12 teams. 12 teams had won a Super Bowl since we won our last one. So people ride us for not winning a Super Bowl, but there's 19 other teams out there that haven't as well, and you don't hear about those teams.
Exactly. Look at the Washington Redskins, the Cleveland Browns. Like, come on, really? And then people want to jump on the Browns bandwagon because they got OBJ. Odell Beckham is one of the best wide receiver I've ever seen in my life. That guy is like the new Randy Moss. When he can catch the ball the way he can with the one hand, I love it. But I'm a Cowboy fan, so I'm following Amari Cooper, and I was following Michael Gallup. Yeah. I knew we was going to draft Michael Gallup. I knew we was going to draft Michael Gallup. I knew we was going to get Van Der Esch. I didn't know we was going to get Taco. I didn't even want Taco. Yeah. I wanted Xavier Woods. I wanted Kayvon Frazier. I wanted Anthony Brown. And I was watching Jordan Lewis all the way. I don't know why he's not on the field that much, but I guess Anthony Brown he's good enough. But it's cool to me. But I want to know if we got that D lineman. What's his name? McDowell from Seattle. He got drafted in the second round a few years ago. Did we sign him, or what's going on with that?
No. I know. I don't think they've shown much interest with McDowell. I know they were looking, and then when we got the Quinn thing, I think it looked like to me they were interested in trying to figure out the DeMarcus Lawrence answer first. And to me, I don't think I got a perception on the DeMarcus Lawrence thing. I mean, it was a big deal, but and I wasn't stressing it out really a lot. Of course, there was a lot of videos out on it. And my thing was, we were getting close to that surgery window where he had to get it. It was going to affect his season. So we were losing some trade value if we had to trade him. If he held his ground at 23 or 24 and he wouldn't come down. And my thing was, if we trade him, we're going to get a first-round pick. I would think at least a first-round pick. Right around there, maybe a first and a fourth or something like that, and we could go behind that first and a fourth and move up. So we would get a replacement for him, kind of. It wouldn't be DeMarcus Lawrence. I know it wouldn't be, we're not going to bring a guy in, with the 20th pick and he's going to be DeMarcus Lawrence and have 15 sacks his rookie year.
Absolutely not.
But the thing is, if we could get a guy that could get us around 8 to 10 and Taco Charlton could get on the field a little more and get us, 5 or 6, we would have money to go after like McDowell or what's the other one that's out there? You know what I mean? So we could have brought those guys in with the money, and we get a draft pick. And that draft pick, we're gonna be paying him, $3 or $4 or $5 million max for 4 or 5 years, or Sue Sue just got thrown up there. I know he wants a lot of money, but we could have brought him in on a 1-year deal if DeMarcus Lawrence left, and we get a draft pick, so we bring a young guy in. Sue is paid for because we don't have to pay DeMarcus Lawrence. So I wasn't worried about that. That's why I kept saying I think we'll go 58. At 58, we should go best safety on the board. And because the defensive line is going to take care of itself. If we don't sign DeMarcus Lawrence, we're gonna get a pretty good trade pick for him, and we're gonna get that money back, which we could go out and pick up somebody in free agency right now, because there's a couple guys out there like you're saying, McDowell, Sue, Ziggy Hassan. Yeah, thank you. That's the other guy, Ziggy Hassan, Ansah.
Oh, you be saying? Oh yeah, I remember. I remember you be saying his name wrong. It's Ziggy Ansah.
Yeah,
but
Ziggy Ansah.
Definitely, you painted the picture. Let me put it like this. You painted the picture very clear, so I can understand exactly where you're coming from on the position of DeMarcus Lawrence. In case we did not sign him.
Exactly.
I completely understand what you're saying.
In case we had to pull the fire alarm.
Very clear. I can definitely see that painted. Yes.
In case we had to pull the fire alarm and call 911 because he didn't, you know what I mean? That was my thing. You got to look at the options, and all players are like that, And my thing was, and if you could, my videos from last week, all week I was saying we're gonna sign DeMarcus Lawrence this week, or we're going to probably wait. We're probably going to wait a while, and we're going to get close to the draft and see what people offer. And if people offer something good, if they offer us a first and a third, or a first and a second, or 2 second rounds, it might be something you look at, because you could combine those 2 second rounds, move up in the first round, and we still get a really good draft pick, defensive end, or we go tackle, and we slide Tyrone Crawford over and hope he can fill that position a little bit too. I like Tyrone Crawford, man. I know he didn't play very well, but he's an anchor for us. He's always there.
Oh yeah, of course. And now a few years ago when we re-signed Crawford, there was some Cowboy fans out there. Oh no, get rid of him. He's a bum. No, come on, man. Tyrone Crawford, he does it all. He can play all 4 positions. He's not the best at any one, but he is a good player. And the mental side of the game, the stunts, the twists, all the stunts and twists, he is that man for all of that. Anytime you get tired, put Crawford in there. He's stout. He's ready.
Exactly. If you have let's say DeMarcus Lawrence tweaks his hamstring or something, guaranteed the first thing they do, hey, go to the locker room and get Tyrone Crawford to my office. If Antoine Woods goes down, hey, call Tyrone Crawford, get him. Let me talk to him real quick. Hey, you're playing a 3-tech this week. I mean, it's not his best position, but I think he plays pretty well there. He plays pretty well all across the board, and you got to have a flexibility guy like that, and that's why I'm good to go with him.
And did you see the video of the fight at the bar with Tyrone Crawford? I think that the league, if they watch that video, I think they need to just wash that up under the rug, because he was really defending himself.
I did some videos on that got me in trouble, man. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to. I think I can bring it up.
I won't get into that, since I'm not one of those guys, so
I'm not
just
either.
Say it just like this: Tyrone Crawford was defending himself. It looked like he was getting jumped, and that was it. I just let that go.
I'll tell you what I did. I did 2 videos on what happened. There is a different video out there. I will tell you that. There's only 14 people in here. I don't think the NFL is watching my channel. There is a different video outside the bar, and some people even was like, hey, Crunk, you need to shut the hell up. Because the video outside the bar is a little different. And they there's another video that has like maybe 300 views. But it's outside, and it's a security camera, and they were trying to arrest either the guy that started the fight, or I think it was his buddy or something. But the police were handcuffing him, and he got between the police and this guy and tried to separate him. And his buddy was getting handcuffed, and he was pulling him away from the cops. And he did kind of put his forearm on the cop and push him back and pull his buddy away. And a bunch of people grabbed him and took him away. And those cops had to be not Cowboy fans, but football fans, because and I did the video on purpose. And I called a couple people. I said, hey, man, you need to look at this video. And one of them was Mark Holmes. Mark Holmes didn't talk to me for a few days. He said, Crunk, don't put that shit out there. Basically, he was telling me, and the only reason I put it out there, I said, hey man, I wanted people to know this guy could get suspended, man. And it is, there was, I saw the one inside the bar, which I don't agree with. And people were saying it was put out that he put his hands on a cop and stuff like that. And people were watching the video that you saw, and they were saying, no, those were undercover cops. Those weren't even undercover cops. Those were bouncers. It was during spring break. It was in Panama City. Those dudes are college kids that were, during spring break in Panama, the traffic in those bars triples, quadruples.
Oh yeah.
So they hire these college students to come in.
City.
Yeah, they hire these college students to come in and work for a week. Yeah, I know, Cowboy X Factor. Sorry, the screen is out. My YouTube is having an issue right now, but I'll get it rolling on the next video. But what happened was, those are bouncers. Those are college students. All they're told to do, and I've been in that situation before. I was single a long time and used to party a lot. Their job is to get everyone outside, and that's it. And that's what they did. They were trying to push everybody out, get them outside, and the police are outside waiting. That's where the second video happened, and it's a black video. You can't really see really, really good, but you can tell it's him. And he, there's some things that happened outside. Those cops definitely are football fans, because normally he probably would have got hit with obstruction justice, trying to stop somebody from getting arrested or something. But hopefully it gets
pepper spray.
Yeah, hopefully it gets swept under the rug.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think we haven't heard anything about it, so I'm good to go, man. I think Tyrone Crawford won't hear anything from it, but I know I did also on that video. It's and I also saw the article from TMZ Sport, whatever it's called. They actually said we reached out to the NFL and shared our videos with the NFL and the Cowboys, and we haven't heard back from either organization. So I know the NFL knows about it.
TMZ is some snitches, man.
Yeah, I know.
They get a lot of people's careers just torn apart.
Yeah, they're not trying to do anything but build their social media shit, and I'm not into that. Like I said, I only put it out because everybody was saying, oh, he's not gonna get nothing. He's not gonna get shit. And I happened to run across that video because I went and looked it up, and when I looked it up, I said, what is this video way down here on the bottom? And I was like, oh shit. I said, oh shit. And so I got a hold of Mark Holmes and sent him. He said, no, those guys were just in the red shirts. They were just. I said, no, there's a different video. You need to check it out. And he watched it on his show. He live streamed it, and he deleted it really quick. And he goes, I ain't got nothing to say about that. Pretty much. But he it was, it's a bar situation, and those things happen, and I know policemen do try to respect that people are on spring break having a good time, and they really don't try to apprehend anybody or arrest anybody unless it's something serious. He didn't swing at nobody, but he did try, do a little shoving on and a lot of policemen, they don't take to that. You put your hand, you touch them, and you're gone. So he got away with one there. I hope the NFL don't touch him on it. But if they do, that's the reason I was sharing this with a few people. If they do something, it's because of that other situation, not what I think is. It wouldn't be because that video that you saw with the guys in the red shirt and everybody trying to push him outside and stuff like that. That's just a melee situation. But
and I got a question for our receiver, Cedric Wilson, Boise State. He's on our roster. I want to know why they bringing in so many wide receivers looking at him if we got so many. Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's a position where sometimes you have players that just work well with a quarterback, or they have some kind of connection. You know what I mean? And maybe they're just of course they're gonna have to dwindle it down. It'll be one of those positions probably where we carry two or maybe three wide receivers on the practice squad. Who knows? But yeah, Antoine Woods.
Lance Lenoir is there still, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we should keep Lance Lenoir, especially if we can get a player like Mecole Hardman.
Yeah, well,
Georgia.
Yeah, Lance Lenoir drove me crazy.
Hardman is the player I would want to get later in the draft, and then take Lance Lenoir out of there. Because if you can get, this is my thing as far as the Cowboys go. please stop getting wide receivers that's running in the 4.5s. If you please, because every year we always say this. Cowboy fans always say the same thing. We need some speed out there. Oh, we need some speed. We're always talking about we need speed. Now we got what? We got one player. We got a few players that's running in the 4.3s.
Yeah.
And one player running in the 4.4s. So we got Avon that's running in the 4.3s, and then we got Michael Gallup running in the 4.5s, and then we got let me see, Noah Brown. Noah Brown's kind of slow, so he's not fast. Randall Cobb, he's running in the 4.5s. He's damn near probably running a 4.59, 4.56 now, somewhere in that range. We need more speed on the team because once Tavon Austin goes down, you don't have nobody to really open up the field and do the things that Tavon can do. I don't see why people don't just start looking at that. Like, start looking at those speeds, the 4.3s. You got to start looking at the 4.3s, especially when you talk about wide receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, I like speed at receiver as well, especially, if you can get a guy that breaks a tackle.
It kills.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it kills. Especially when you're watching them in person, you be like, oh yeah, a 4.3 don't look like a 4.5. It is extremely different. Like, oh yeah, the quickness, the suddenness, the burst. When you get those players on the field, we need to start getting more of those players out there. They might. You don't have to get a short guy to be a 4.3 guy. You can get guys that's 5'11", 6 feet, that's running that fast. And that's what I think they need to start doing. I think they need to start keying in on those 4.3 guys and stop drafting the 4.55s, the 4.56 guys. We got Michael Gallup. Stop at that point right there at the 4.5s. Now, from that point, since you got a solid number one, and a solid number 2, from that point on, start getting speed. Just don't even look at players if you're running in the 4.5s. Look at everybody that's running below 4.41 and on. Other than that, stop looking at them at wide receiver, unless you're looking at somebody like our boy Jalen.
Yeah, I like him because of the strength factor. I just think he's really strong, a solid. I think he could take a hit. I don't think he has a problem going across the middle. He's really.
I love that guy.
I really think he's like a small tight end. He's like with great hands, and run after the catch ability. What do you think about Covington? We signed him from Houston.
Christian Covington. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Now I'm talking
about a Cowboy fan out there, and you watching Christian Covington next season, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that was the best pickup we got for the D line last year.
Yes, sir. I think so.
You're gonna be watching for that. Yeah, Christian Covington is stupid solid. I watched him playing for the Texans.
Yeah.
He is stupid solid. He's what you would call a sleeper. Oh yeah. He is a sleeper. I would love to see him at 1 or 3 tech, flip flopping both back and forth like that. They're gonna put him in there if you can. Once they match him up, Covington right next to Woods on maybe some first downs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. People gonna be like, oh yeah, it's looking good now. The run game is looking real good because he gonna get in the backfield too.
Yeah. My thing with him is he's a young player, and I think this is. The first 2 years, I give offensive linemen and defensive linemen kind of a break. Like I mentioned that strength factor earlier, and he's 26. This I think is his 3rd or 4th year. He didn't get a lot of snaps with Houston, but this is going to be, when you've got DeMarcus Lawrence on one side and you've got Robert Quinn on the other, they're going to be drawing some attention. This could be a guy coming into the age that he's at and coming into the strength he should be getting this year. He should be coming in, to that strength area. I think he's going to step up and play a lot better than he did at Houston.
He's going to be so nice. Yeah. He's going to be so nice. And then they're going to be having, what's the other dude? Malik, what's the other three tech?
What's that?
Malik Collins, right?
Yeah, Malik Collins, yeah.
Yeah, Malik Collins. Yeah, Malik Collins is nice. He got that spin move. He do the spin move up in there too. I like that.
Yeah, I'm solid with our. I'm hoping, I mean, I don't know. We sit and talk about this. We hype ourselves up, but I'm hoping our safeties can pop out some lawn chairs back there, and they just sit back and watch the defensive line tear shit up, and they ain't got to do nothing. That'd be nice.
I know. And then a lot of our Cowboys nations, they talking about Jonathan Abrams. Mississippi State.
Yeah, yeah. If he's there, I don't know that he'll be there, but if he's there, that's a that's a solid guaranteed NFL safety, I think.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be solid too. I didn't see nothing wrong with the guy. I just didn't think he had the speed that I wanted. I'm a speed guy. I'm also about size as well, but we got the size. We got the big hitters. Jeff Heath, Kayvon Frazier, they both can hit. Darian Thompson and Xavier Woods, they both can cover and catch. But Darian Thompson got the best hands out of all of those guys. I mean, hey, we re-signed him for a reason.
Yeah, he's a guy I haven't looked at much, so I'm glad you brought that up. I'll have to take a look at some of his. What is his? What is most of his?
Now, let me tell you a little about Darian Thompson. Now, Darian Thompson went to high school in this is Lancaster. It's called Pete Knight High School. He went to Pete Knight High School, graduated, went to Boise State. Then I know he graduated from there too. Then he got drafted by the Giants. Now, this guy, Darian Thompson, I believe, leads the FBS in interceptions.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
That part. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That part. We're talking about the guy that has the record for interceptions in the FBS.
Yeah, I wrote his...
That guy. Yeah, we got that guy on our roster sitting down right now behind Xavier Woods. So when people talking about a ball hawk, we have one of those guys right now. He just didn't get drafted by us.
Yeah. What round did he... Or
yeah.
What year is this his third year, second year?
Yeah, he got drafted like 2-3 years ago. I think he got drafted the same year Carl Joseph came out. Now Carl Joseph was a player I really wanted, but Darian Thompson on our team right now.
Oh, that's good, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check him out. I'll have to check him out. I wrote his name down. I'll check out his stuff with the Giants, and then of course he'll probably have more footage from college. But some of these guys, they had Landon Collins, so maybe that was why he didn't get much on the field time. And when they signed, I was still working.
Giants don't know what the hell they doing with their roster.
Dude,
we don't need to talk about the Giants. The Giants are our rivals.
I know, but they probably saved our ass, and I'll tell you this why. No, because I was pretty hot on the Earl Thomas thing. I wanted it to happen, but I only wanted it to happen. I say everything with respect to money. If the money was right, and that was the only reason.
If the money is right.
Yeah, and we can't overspend. As soon as I was on my Twitter, and as soon as I saw Landon Collins sign for $15 million a year, I was like, nope, we just lost Earl Thomas. There's no way we'll get him because we will not pay that. And a matter of fact, another thing I said, Earl Thomas will sign in the next couple of days now because he knows he's not going to the Cowboys, and he signed.
Earl Thomas is better than Landon Collins.
Yeah, exactly. But I knew we weren't going to pay, that kind of money for a safety when we have other players that are going to be needing money around the corner and down, in the next few years, that we weren't just going to, give. And I really did want Earl Thomas, but I wanted it to be the right deal.
Yeah.
And when I saw that,
everybody really did.
And then Tyrann Mathieu signed right after that, I was like, oh hell, it's done broke loose. Earl Thomas, I don't know but the Ravens, they were under the radar with him. Nobody knew that the Ravens were interested in him. And when they signed him, I was like, well, we're good now. We'll find us a safety. And Ioka, he has that size, the guy from the Bengals that we did pick up. And so, and you mentioned your guy there. We might be solid at safety. Maybe the Cowboys don't go safety at 58 if they feel comfortable with that guy.
Oh, I got you right here. I throw all Cowboy Nation a long ball right here. George Aloka, bet he won't even make the roster.
Wow. I know he has the frame.
That part.
I know he has.
That part right there. Bet he don't even make the roster. That part. He gonna get outplayed. Even if he tries to make the roster, the player that we get in this draft at safety will outplay him.
Oh,
Kayvon gonna come back, outplay him. Jeff Heath gonna be like, oh, everybody's talking about me. You think Jeff Heath is sitting at his house right now chilling?
No.
Jeff Heath working his ass off right now because he knows everybody coming for his head. Every Cowboy, who else is out there showing love to Jeff Heath besides a few of us? online. A
Yeah.
few of us. That's it. Everybody's coming. Jeff Heath gonna be ready, and and whoever we draft gonna have to beat Jeff Heath out.
Yeah.
George Iloka, this guy is so slow. This guy should never have even been brought in the building, but he has the size.
Yeah.
Outside of the size, I wouldn't even put him on the field. George Iloka is not even put on my team. Period. Like we're not even bringing you in. I don't care if you 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" at safety.
Yeah.
We've seen those players come out. You're not Byron Jones. If you wanted a Byron Jones, then you need to be looking at somebody like Juan Thornhill. He plays shooting guard. That's a basketball player right there.
Yeah.
He played basketball. A lot of people don't know that.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't know that.
I know these guys.
Yeah.
I know who these guys be. Like, oh, well, this is what these guys be doing on their Instagram. This is what these guys be doing. I'm talking about years.
Yeah.
Before Instagram.
Yeah,
before there was a YouTube, when it was just like before Facebook got big. I'm talking about even MySpace.
Yeah.
I've been following guys for a long time.
Oh, that's cool, man. No, I don't get a chance to follow college too much because I do NFL all season, and then I do take a little break,
Right.
and then I start my college study up a little bit, like probably around January, February. I do watch the Senior Bowl. I watch a little bit of college football during the season, you know. But even during the week when it's NFL season, I watch the Cowboys game, whatever the game was. Like we have a game on Sunday, the next week I'll watch it 2 or 3 times, and then I watch whoever they're playing the next week. Let's say we just played. Let's say we just played the Eagles. Well, I'll watch that game 3 times. If we play Washington next week, I'll watch that game 2 or 3 times. Whoever they play, just to get a fresh eye on what they're looking like, at the current time in NFL. But so during the
opponent,
I watch the next opponent, their game. So that's how I do it, and so I get behind on the college thing. So I try to get picked up. But you can watch guys like yourself. I can get information from people that follow college more. And Vach Lombardi, he knows all those guys' names and what they do and what they're capable of doing. And but then you have your other guys that kind of study. I kind of study the philosophy of moves more. Like what I think the Cowboys are going to do, and that's what my channel goes around. So when it comes to college, I'm a little behind, but you can catch up, if you study enough. Or I can, not you. I'm talking about myself. But
right on.
hey man, my wife was just calling, so I'm gonna cut the stream off. I want to say also, Trey Boston is still out there, a safe free agent safety that is still out there. So we'll see. We might pick up another free agent. I think if we do anything free agency, I think we'll wait till after the draft. Now, I think they're still celebrating that we signed DeMarcus Lawrence. So, hey man, I really appreciate you calling. You got a social media, or you got a YouTube or Instagram? People can get in touch with you. They got questions on college football players.
Oh man, this is all about the Cowboys, Cowboy Crunk. Shout out to everybody out there. It's all good, man. It's GQ Trailblazer for the YouTube, and that's it.
GQ.
No shout out for me, man. I mean, I'm just one small guy, being a Cowboy fan, loving our Cowboys, loving Jerry Jones and everything that we got going on. Hate it or love it, win or lose, we still Cowboy fans, baby.
Oh yeah, well, I don't want to even say. I was gonna say we could be 1-8 at week 9, and I'm gonna still be watching my Cowboys. I'm not one of those guys. I have a neighbor down the street. Well, actually my brother-in-law, and he's a Giants fan, and we watch games together, And I love my brother-in-law. I even buy on Christmas. I'll buy him a little something from the Giants. But hey, by I think it was week 4 or 5, week 6. I call him. He only lives a few houses down. Hey, man, you gonna come down and watch the game? He's like, nah, man, I'm not watching no more football this year. I said, man, you crazy. I don't give a damn if the Cowboys was 0-45. I'm watching my damn Cowboys. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
All right, brother. Hey, man, it was nice talking to you. Be safe out there in California.
Oh, yeah, easy work, baby.
Take care, brother.
Keep staying weight.
All right, peace. Hey guys, man, really, really good show. I know I went long today. We did a lot of talking. We got a lot of good information. I enjoy having the phone calls. I'll start posting the phone calls out a little more. Shout out to Mark Hayes. Thank you very much. Let me read a couple of the chats real quick before I get off here. Look at the Bengals tape. He's a box safety. He's not bad. The tapes I saw on him, he wasn't too bad as well. Uh, so we'll see, man. We never know. Once competition hits on these guys, and they get coaching, and they got Chris Richard there, you know, maybe the guy makes the team, maybe he doesn't. So, we'll definitely have some competition if they draft safety at 58 or if they go safety at 90. Maybe there's a defensive tackle at 58. We'll see. Big Country, what about Antoine Woods? If he gets strong, yeah, that we were talking about that earlier. Big Country, him and Covington next to each other, and Antoine Woods is young. He just came in, undrafted free agent. He's going to be better this year, guaranteed. Antoine Woods is going to be better, bigger, and stronger. So I got a lot of hopes for the Cowboys guys. Alexander 302, thank you very much earlier for helping me out with the names there. And I'm gonna shut the channel down. It is 2:39 in the morning here from Afghanistan, and I will have the camera going next time, guys. I apologize about that. The problem was I had my Skype on when I started the on the camera when I started the calls, and when the first call came in, it kept shutting the camera off because it was trying to hook up to the Skype camera. So next time we'll have the camera on. We'll have a much better show. I appreciate it. If we draft a safety, regardless, at least one person is getting cut after the preseason. Yeah, I see we are kind of deep at safety, and there's only so many spots out there, guys. Only so many people can be a Cowboy, but everybody can be a Cowboys fan. So I agree with you there, Stevie Mac. We're gonna have to cut the roster somewhere. We got to trim the fat. So take care, guys. Love, peace, and happiness from Cowboy Crunk in Afghanistan. Talk to you guys tomorrow.